If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
Hello! Hello! I am Kurt. This is Happy Jack's RPG. Thank you for joining us for session 0 of St. Elco's Fire, a lighthearted actual play on the Happy Jack's RPG network. We don't have any past episodes, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to be running this game. I'll be called the director in the rules of Lighthearted. That's a game written by Kate Potts and myself, and let's throw it to these players. Let's see how everybody's doing. CADave, do you want to say hi?
Hello, out there in internet land. It is I, CADave, and we're gonna talk about making characters in a minute, and then I'll know more about what I'm gonna tell you next time.
Clara, do you want to say hi?
I needed to take myself off mute. Hi, I'm Clara, and I look like this all the time, if you're just tuning in. This is just me now. I'm really feeling it.
CB.
Hi, I'm CB, or Claire, but we're going with CB because I'm playing with Clara, and I also look like this all the time.
There can be only one.
Joe, do you want to say hi?
Hey everybody, I'm Joe. I typed in a random Zoom number, ended up here, and so I guess we're doing this now. But no, seriously, I've been really looking forward to checking out Lighthearted. So stoked to be playing with this table. Oh my god. Yeah, let's get into it. I'm so stoked.
All right. Well, speaking of being stoked, this is my first time GMing a campaign for Happy Jacks. I've been on some of the charity streams and stuff, but if you don't know who I am, I'm a game designer. I work on this game, several other games. If you want, you can find me on Twitter, it's right there on the screen. But today we're going to talk about Lighthearted. So the pitch for Lighthearted is you are all college kids at El Camino Community College of Magic and Technology. You're going to explore new and exciting ways to use magic, join a club, make the team, and explore your futures and grow as people. So, at least that's what the brochure says for the community college that you are signed up for. So, a little bit about Lighthearted and the world that it's set in. This is a alternate 1980s, but it's not like the real 80s that was all gas shortages and brown. It's the 80s from music videos and cartoons where it's nonstop neon and giant hair and this is big 80s that never actually existed. So your characters, I already mentioned, are going to be students at El Camino Community College of Magic and Technology. In this world, magic has just started to come back. A long time ago, there was magic and fantasy and gods and things like that existed, but that kind of faded away. And then sometime around the 1940s, there was a huge war, and magic came back. as a response to some actions of the people in this world. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to tell stories that model the 80s movies and the 80s cartoons that we loved as kids, but anytime there would, technology could do literally anything, we're going to replace that with magic. So Gem and the holograms, but the holograms are real illusions. So let's see. So some other differences in this world is there is a fantasy religion in this world. There aren't like the normal religions that we have don't exist in this alternate reality. So the religion is called the Four. There are 4 gods. A long time ago they did some stuff. Now it's mostly the thing you say when someone sneezes. But if we want to get into if your characters want to be religious or they want to get into who those gods are, there's the 4 gods are Magus, Celestia, War, and the Traveler. They're going to be about as important as your characters want them to be. It's not imperative that your characters engage with the gods too much, but if they want to be religious, it's something we can explore. Let's see. In this world, everyone has the ability to do magic. It's not like a secret thing like in some other fantasy settings where magic is hidden from the main world. Everybody kind of knows magic exists, but it's also kind of difficult. So if your character is the kind that wouldn't have paid attention in biology class, you probably didn't care much about learning magic. Let's see. Right. So when we talk about the kinds of stories that we're going to tell with Lighthearted, there's sort of 3 main story pillars that we get into. And we're going to hit stories about growing up, so typical 80s movie tropes of like coming of age stuff. But it's a little bit different coming of age because your characters are all going into college. So it's that like second wave of finding out who you are as a grown-up. We might hit some romance if that's a thing everyone's interested in. And we'll probably hit quite a bit of magical weirdness. The world of Lighthearted, the average people don't exactly believe in monsters and fairies, but that doesn't necessarily stop them from believing in you. So let's talk a little bit about the kinds of characters that you're going to play in this world. Actually, you know what? Let me stop. So before I get any further, I want to go over some safety tools and stuff like that. So I kind of went over what this game is about. Let's talk about what kind of tone we want to hit. And this is, I'll open it so we can kind of discuss this, right? I tend to try to go for like a PG-13 rating on this kind of thing. So we're not going to see a lot of graphic violence, but there's definitely going to be violence. We probably won't see a lot of like sexual content, but there are probably like a lot of flirting, stuff like that. So when it comes to the tone of the show, think like Weird Science and Breakfast Club and those kind of things, just aged up a little bit. Our namesake is of course St. Elmo's Fire. That movie, like all 80s movies, has a lot of problems. But the big thing that I wanted to achieve with Lighthearted was to be able to explore those old stories without all the problematic bits. So things like homophobia, racism, slurs, like we're not going to hit any of that. We don't want any of that in these stories because we're going to try to tell the story that we wish existed, not something that is accurate to what existed in the 80s. So does anybody have any thoughts on tone, things they want to talk about, questions?
I was just gonna say, if this is a bad joke. If this is PG-13, who gets the one fuck?
You did just now.
Apparently you
Thanks.
do.
So you
Now you robbed us all.
Per episode.
I like the one thing I really like about the one fuck as a way to gauge tone is that it becomes really intentional, and it's exciting when someone gets to pull it out and be like, fuck, like it makes it actually kind of interesting when a character starts cussing at everyone. However, I'm not limiting us to the language that we can use in this show. I feel like everyone is an adult.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like everyone's
If it's
adults. Oh, go ahead.
If it's pre or post showgirl, that depends. We could probably have NC-17, but never mind.
So
I did
totally.
research for this.
Yeah, because you were the one that had to, sweetie.
I have hard
Never mind.
knowledge.
Joe, did you have any thoughts on tone? You good with what we got?
I'm good with what we have. I'm a fan of keeping it open table rule. So at any time, if something is uncomfortable, we trust each other and we open it up, and we want to make sure everybody's feeling safe and supported, because that's a huge part of why I love this community so much. So yeah, I trust you guys to protect yourselves, be safe, and know that you're supported at any point during the game. But what we have on the table, I think, it's the same default ones that I also have. So far, I'm pretty clear.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the content that we really want to see, some things that we maybe don't want to hit. And actually, you know what, Dave, did you have any thoughts on that before I move on?
Well, I just wanted to say, like, I know that I have a reputation of being the little bit goofy one, but I'm also plenty happy to follow along if things get serious. Like, that's but I would prefer that it be a little fluid, right? Like, there's going to be, like every good 80s movie, even the dramas, there's moments of lightheartedness. Literally, now in this case.
Not in this game. I don't think there's going to be any lightheartedness in this game.
See? Clara got I get to use the one F word, and I got to be the one that brought the title in.
They said the name of the
movie.
thing. They said the name of the thing.
We can roll the credits now.
Everybody
There
drink.
we go.
Roll
We
credits.
got 10 minutes and we're done.
Everybody loves it when you say the name of the thing.
I will say, I feel like Dave and I in a game together is never going to be terribly dark. We can try.
You know, I'm the thoughts I've had about a character, I'm gonna try to stretch a little bit and see how that ends up. So
Well,
see.
and Clara, I'm sure you and I in a game together is going to be so depressing and, antagonistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, we can all say, maybe dark, but, like...
Well, if we get a little tempted to delve into the darkness, we'll deal with it as we go. I think it's good if we ride the line, right? If we try to ride that line of maybe not super silly and like no like open weeping, and then like we'll just keep it between those lines and we'll be okay. All right, cool.
Open
and then
weeping was my whole thing. That was.
oh my gosh, I'm
whole
so
thing.
sorry. I'm already railroading you.
No,
so
it's fine. I'll just make a whole new concept now.
awesome.
Joe, are you on mute?
I
What?
heard him.
Am I on mute?
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit about lines and veils. So the content that we don't want to see in the game, or that we want is okay being in the fiction, but it's off screen. And then I also have a column here for. So the way I do Lighthearted is I have an on-screen, off-screen, and off the table. So things in the on-screen column are stuff that we absolutely want to see. It's okay if we don't fill this column this week, right? This is a living list. We're going to adjust it as we go. But if you have things that come up and you're like, man, I really wish that this would be in a session, that's where we'll put that kind of content. Off screen is stuff that is okay that it exists, but we're not going to show it on screen, right? We'll put it behind a curtain. We'll fade to black, whatever that is. We have some things on the list, so we're not going to have any eye trauma, race, gender, or identity harassment, or spiders or arachnids. So we're not going to; those things just won't be on screen. Things that are off the table are sexual violence and medical trauma. So those won't come up even in the fiction. We won't talk about them existing in this world. They just don't happen in this movie. So not appearing in this film is anything on this list. So it just doesn't exist in our fictional world. If anybody has anything they'd like to add at this time, we can. But if we're good, we can move on and talk about the X card. Okay. So I like to use the X card as a check-in. So anytime we're all adults, right? And so if you need to pause the game at any time, you can say X, you can cross your arms on screen, you can type it in chat. I'm not always watching chat, so if somebody does X something and I miss it in chat, I'm going to rely on everyone to try to help me out and call it out. But if something gets X'd, we're going to pause the game, find out what content was removed, and kick it out of the game. We don't need an explanation at that time. If we want to talk about it, or if the person who X'd it wants to talk about it, then I'm open to having that discussion. We're not going to abandon you if something is problematic and you want to talk about it. But also, if we just want to move on, that's totally fine. I'm also cool with using the X card as a, hey, is everybody still cool with the direction the scene is going? Right? Like, maybe it's getting a little silly, or maybe it's getting a little dark, or maybe it's getting a little horny, and maybe not everybody, even if the characters who are in the scene are cool with it, and the other players who have to experience it as well are not cool with where the scene is going, we can X stuff and talk about it and make adjustments. So that's kind of how we'll use the X card. We'll pause the game, we'll find out what needs to happen, and we'll move forward. Everybody good with that use of the X card? Cool beans. Okay, so those are our safety tools that are in place. Of course, like I said, the lines and veils stuff, that's a living list. If we have to X something, we find out we didn't think it was going to come up, but now it's a problem, it goes on the list, and we won't bring it up again. And we'll just make adjustments as we go. Let's see. So, any other thoughts before I move on from safety tools? Cool. All right, well then, you know what? Let's make some characters. So, characters in Lighthearted are built out of cliques. So you have Prep, Jock, Geek, Rebel, and Outcast are the 5 cliques in this game. Those tend to focus on not only your social circle, but the kinds of things that you're going to struggle to grow out of. Cliques are an example of not necessarily your perception of yourself, but society's perception of your character. So they may expect a geek to be kind of a jerk, or kind of a know-it-all, or a little sheepish, or a pushover, right? And when you lean into those kind of things, you're going to get rewarded by something called a malfunction. So all of the cliques have malfunctions. You're going to have 4 on the list, and you're going to pick 3 of those right now when you choose your clique. Those malfunctions are kind of your character arc, right? They're the things that society expects of you, and then also the way that you earn XP in this game is by going against those expectations and sort of growing as a person. So, does anybody have any ideas about what clique they'd like to play?
I would like to play either the Rebel or the Geek clique.
Okay.
Does anybody... also, do we all need to be in different cliques, or can we have a couple in the same clique, or how does the game function best?
So you can be 2 people can be in the same clique, but you can't take the same strengths. Now, sure, that works better in a one-shot. So I think for a campaign, it's going to be better if everybody is in different cliques.
Sure.
Because for campaign play, you get 3 strengths and malfunctions. And in a one-shot, you only get 2, just to limit the amount of stuff you have to think about at the table. So, and honestly, there's just not enough for one person to be, for 2 people to be one thing, because there's only 4 on the list. So that might be something that comes to the game later.
So Rebel was what? Yeah,
I was kind of leaning to Rebel too, but I could also go Rebel or Prep, but I don't have a concept for Prep yet.
Okay.
I'll go Geek, just because I've got a concept for Geek. So
okay,
and that way you don't have to come up with something new.
Yeah, if you're enthusiastic about that, yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be rad. That'd be bitchin'.
No, sweet. Cool.
I've got a little bingo sheet of 80s slang that I'm trying to work off.
Oh, let me pull one up so you can cross things off your
test.
If you fill out the whole bingo card, you're gleaming.
Gag me out with a spoon.
I didn't know this was open note. Hold on.
I didn't know this was open note.
It's absolutely open note.
You're-
It's Zoom, Clara.
You are at a computer.
If chat has any suggestions for slang, just let us know and we'll try to work them in.
There you go.
Blue Troller,
Oh,
yes,
God.
bitchin' was 80s. We are looking for 1980s slang.
Yeah,
Is what we're looking
Is-
for.
Wait, is bitchin' really 80s?
it was
Oh,
still
yes.
around. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. The whole period is kind of a blur because I'm very familiar with 90s because I'm living in it now.
Mm.
And
Oh shit.
tell me I'm wrong. And like I understand 70s because I had to work in a project that was mostly the 70s. So I'm like, oh okay, what happened in the 80s? So,
Well, definitely
have
go
a cow,
watch
Clara,
Valley
it's
Girl before the next session. That's your homework.
Thank you.
And then you can come back and say, barf me out.
No, go watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, the
young
movie.
lady. Yes, the movie.
Yeah.
Obviously,
okay,
well,
that actually leads really nicely into the character I am thinking about playing.
So,
You're
Clara,
welcome.
what are you thinking about?
We didn't plan that. It was just clever. I wanted to go super far from the character the other times I've played this game. I've played the same character 2 times. And do the jock, but I wanted to play the jock as a cheerleader because I can, and because I keep finding Tumblr posts about covens of cheerleaders, and that makes me very happy. So it's
I dig it.
appropriate for this.
Yeah, I like it. So we got a jock, a geek, and a rebel. Dave, what are you thinking?
I'm going for the outcast.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm just going to hide. So we have a character keeper, which you can get access to if you go check out the game on itch. It's one of the free links that you can get to. But I'm going to hide the prep because we don't need it. So there's a thing here to do that. There we go. Boom. Haha. So go ahead and write your names, your player name and character names on your section of the character keeper there, so we know who's who. And then we'll continue through the cliques, and we'll get you guys characters made. So, all right. So now that we have cliques picked, you're going to go through and choose 3 of your malfunctions. Those are going to be the kinds of things that you're going to gain XP for, things you're going to gain heart for. That's a currency you can spend in the game. I haven't talked about the mechanics yet, but we will get there. So yeah, so choose 3 of those. This is going to be the time when I sort of ramble while y'all read. But the last malfunction is always going to be like kind of how your character thinks about romance. And if that doesn't jive with you, then you can skip it. So I'll kind of go through some of them just to read for the audience to kind of get a feel for what one of these looks like.
And,
So
and I'm sorry, you said pick 3?
choose 3 of them, yeah.
Okay, very good.
I'm stuck on character name.
Oh, we can come back to that if you want. I always do that last.
Names are hard.
I spent like this week thinking about a name. I was very excited.
I had one and then I lost it.
So I'll talk a
I
little bit
stole
about
mine
oh,
from Hannah Gadsby.
nice.
Yeah.
So an example of a malfunction is for the outcast. They have one called Hiss, where they gain a heart whenever they're rude to someone unprovoked. And then they gain XP whenever they are vulnerable to someone, with someone. So those are the kind of like dichotomies that you'll be working with. And basically how these are gonna work in play, because it's not on me to call them out. All of the players are kind of responsible for their own malfunctions. So if you hit one of these, like if you're rude to someone unprovoked, you just mark a heart. You get one extra heart. If you take a moment and your character gets vulnerable with someone and tells them how they really feel, then you get an XP. And you just go ahead and mark it. You don't have to ask me for it. It is nice to call it out, though, so that we kind of get a feel for how many XP everyone's getting. This is the first the first campaign of Lighthearted to go more than 4 sessions. So I'm really excited to see how it goes with, or at least in my experience. So I'm excited to see how long-term play does with XP and if we're getting enough XP and stuff like that. And we can talk a little bit more about how other ways you'll get XP towards the end of character creation. All right. So I see.
And how many strengths do we pick per campaign? Is it 2 or 3?
It's 3. So the next thing on the list is to go through and pick 3 of these strengths.
Ooh. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, what strengths are? Strengths are little advantages, knacks, quirks, skills that your character has picked up. The ones that you have to start are sort of play into the tropes of your clique, right? Like the geek has one that makes them increases their mental stat because they might be a little smarter, because that's encouraged for a geek. But it also doesn't have to be the thing you pick, so you don't have to play a smart geek. They have things like super nerd, where you just get to pick 2 topics that you're obsessed about, and those you get you're kind of in control when you talk about those topics. So you'll go through, choose the things. Anything that says step up a die, that's going to adjust your stats. So if we want, we can actually set your stats after you've kind of thought about your strengths. The game has
Question.
Yes, please.
Sorry. I don't know if any of the other cliques have this, but I'm curious about from the super nerd thing for the geek. Where should we be putting the 2 subjects? Is it down on those little spaces below, or
it won't? Yeah, actually, that I just realized it won't let you type over it because it's sort of like it's
protected,
calculated out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sure.
down in the notes section, just add the couple of subjects you're good at.
Okay.
And then we can always unprotect that between sessions and get that fixed so that it actually says for you what your thing is. But yeah, the way that the character keeper is set up, there's little drop downs for the different cliques, so you can change your clique and it'll repopulate all of your stuff. But yeah, that's how that'll work. So I can talk a little bit about stats while everyone's picking their last few strengths. The game has 6 stats, which are they're going to be called physical stats, or physical traits, but they are bod, motor, mental, psych, glam, and sway. Bod is like your physique, how strong you are, how much you can lift, how good you look in a bathing suit, like it's your body. It's also how many physical conditions you can take before you get taken out. Motor it's dex. It's how fast you can run, how quick you can move your hands, how fast you can get out of the way, how well you drive a car, because it's called motor. Mental is your book smarts, so knowing things, deduction, learning stuff, that kind of mental is there. It's also the default stat for magic, unless you make a case for why you would be able to use something else. Psych is your emotional intelligence. So if you want to read a person or figure out how they're feeling or understand your own emotions, that's going to be psych. It's also how many emotional conditions you can take. So you can take physical conditions equal to half your bod and emotional conditions equal to half your psych. So if you have a D4, you can take 2. Glam is your appearance. It's your attitude. It's wealth. It's how cool you are. So a prep and a rebel probably both have a high glam. One has money. The other one is just a badass. Not to say you can't be both, but let's see. So and then sway is the last one. Sway, where glam is sort of appearance and how you look. Sway is what you say. So it's a debate team. It's convincing people of something. It's talking your way into a bar when the bouncer doesn't want to let you in. And the way that these stats are, if anyone has played Savage Worlds, you're going to find the dice system familiar. But your stat is a die type from D4 to D12. And when you need to roll something, you're going to roll that stat. I'll talk about emotions in a little bit, but we'll set your stats first. Oh, and everybody starts with the same array. You get 1d8, 2d6, and 3d4. And then if your strengths increase it, you can bump it, which can get you to a d10, or it could round out your lower stats if you want. All right. So it looks like everybody's got their strengths. Except for the chalk.
Three strengths or two?
3.
Oh. And now I'm gonna min-max.
Yeah. I'm gonna be super good at flirting.
I'm trying to decide what makes the most sense to I try to make people.
Yeah.
So if they have a high amount of sway, they probably have a higher amount of psych as well, because they have to be able to understand people in order to convince them.
Yeah.
So I don't get my super hacker gross motor skills. And I'm very sad about it.
That's okay.
I can't min-max this shit.
You're fine. You've got like 40 years before they get VR really working.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, God.
That is totally fine. So, well, let me talk about sort of the balancing factor here. So anytime you want to roll dice in this game, you're going to roll a stat, and you're going to roll an emotion. So you're going to roll the stat, which might be a D4, D6, D8, and then you're going to choose the emotion that your character is feeling. But whenever you enter a scene, or we have like some significant downtime and we pick back up with your character, I'm going to ask how your character's feeling. And you're going to go through and you're going to mark one of these emotions. And the emotions are tied to the colors of the rainbow. So we've got 7 on there. The only downside to this sheet that I just made is that I forgot to put all of the things that describe what the emotions do in it. And I just realized it. So I will open it up and read it from there. Actually, you know what? I kind of know what they are. So red is, that's like passion and rage. Red it's a hot emotion. It's a passionate emotion. It might be that you're really angry. It might also be that you are flustered and in love, but it is a strong emotion. When we get to magic, I'll go back through these and kind of talk about how they relate to different types of magic. Orange is like vigilant. So that's like I'm on guard. I am paying attention. Nobody's going to sneak up on me. I'm watching you. That's orange. Yellow is happy. So happy and joyful. That doesn't have to be that you are like giggling like an idiot, but it might just be that you are optimistic, right? Optimism is really just uncertainty with the hope of a positive outcome. So yellow is, I think something good might happen next. Green is about balance and tranquility and sort of that Zen state, right? So if you are, if you're feeling centered and like nothing can get to you, you're feeling green. Or if you're like, out in a field connecting with trees or whatever, you're probably feeling green too. Blue is surprise. So it's just the opposite of the joyful emotion, right? We're looking at uncertainty with expectation of a negative outcome. So blue is someone snuck up on you. We're walking through a house and you don't know what might happen next. You're a little spooked, right? You're scared. That's where blue lives. Indigo is sad and remorse. So blue and indigo kind of got split up, even though blue typically means sad for people. Indigo is where like deep sadness lives. Like someone passed away, you just got broken up with, like that kind of sadness, right? Your favorite show just got canceled, deep sadness. Trying to bring it
The
back.
Witcher is going to come back.
They recast the lead in The Witcher, like really deep sadness, right?
No, not Camino.
And Violet is that like cold unfeeling. You've become detached. It's those 4 pages in Twilight where it just says the name of the months, right? Like that's the feeling, right?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's such an evocative for the millennial women or AFAB people. That is such an evocative statement. those chapters.
The game's called Lighthearted, and it's got a rainbow heart on the cover. I know who my demo is, so I'll speak to my people. So cool. So whenever you want to roll something, you're gonna when we enter the scene, you're gonna say what your emotion is. So if you're feeling happy, you mark yellow. That becomes your emotional state. Once you've marked your emotional state, you put a little checkbox in it, and anytime you have to make a roll, the die is gonna be determined by how far away it is from your emotional state on that scale, because it's a rainbow band. So if you're feeling red, like you're feeling pissed, and you need to roll blue for whatever reason, you're going to be rolling a d4 because it's more than one away. If you're feeling vigilant, you want to keep guard, but you're still mad about, or you came into this scene feeling upset or mad about something, you're going to be rolling a d6 because it's adjacent. It's right next to your emotional state. If you ever have to roll your emotional state, so you're mad and now you're about to fight about it, you're going to roll your emotional state, and you're going to roll a d8. But whenever you roll your emotional state, you're also going to mark stress, which I just realized I did not put a stress box on this new character sheet. Cool. So I'll fix that before next session. So anytime you roll your active emotion or your emotional state, you're going to mark stress, because that's sort of like representing your character losing themselves or getting overwhelmed by their emotions. All right, how are we doing on stats? Everybody's good?
Yep. Yeah, I'm good on stats. The emotions are a set roll list, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, they're set by what your emotional state is and how far away it is from your current emotional state. So you'll either be rolling a d8, a d6, or a d4.
Got it. Okay.
Unless I think the Outcast has a strength called Indigo Monday that lets them roll one step higher.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. So we've got cliques, we've got malfunctions, strengths, and stats. If you know the name you want to use, you can add your character's name, and we can talk about their look and presentation. Or we can hold off on that and come back to it after we do ties, which is like the relationships between the characters. What do y'all think? You want to go through looks and... It's kind of helpful when we do ties to know a little bit about the other characters.
Sure.
So we can hit that now. I've condensed it on the sheet down to presentation and style. So if you have access to the book, which I think I linked, and you scroll down to the character section, the character creation section, there's a bunch of sample looks, adjectives and stuff in there if they're helpful for you. But the kind of things I want to see in presentation are how your character presents. Like, are they masculine, feminine? Do they come off as non-binary? I think we have a place for pronouns or you can put your pronouns next to your character name. But like, how does the world see your character? And then for style, it's like the clothes you wear, the way you do your hair, and like if you have any. I'm saying like a lot. I'm gonna quit that. If you have any glamours.
It's the 80s. You're right on target.
Like, oh my god. Oh my gods. So if you have glamours, which are personal illusions or permanent illusions, sorry, Like your character may have horns, or maybe they have some like light up tattoos, or I don't know, a tail or whatever. These are things that are illusions that you would like. It kind of took the place of plastic surgery and body modification. It's all rolled into one. They can be fun party tricks, but if you want permanent ones, they're really expensive. So if you don't have the rich, which nobody does because no one took the prep, then yours look a little cheap. So yeah, so we'll talk about that, or go ahead and write that out, and then we'll have you kind of introduce your characters, what they look like, what their name is, and then we'll do ties. All right, and I will open up my notes. So something I can talk about while everyone's writing is the characters in this world, whenever they come into contact with dark magic, they can be chosen by one of the four gods. When someone is chosen, they're sort of like imbued with the power, with the light, to fight against the darkness. Those chosen are named for the god that you're chosen by. So if you're chosen by Celestia, then you are a Celestial. If you're chosen by War, you're a warrior. If you're chosen by the Traveler, you're a Traveler. If you're chosen by Magus, then you're a mage. If people know that you are chosen, if proof happens and people know you're chosen, it's kind of a big deal in the world because it doesn't happen super often. It's not that it doesn't happen. Like most of the top professional athletes are probably chosen warriors, and a lot of politicians are probably chosen Celestials. But like your average person isn't, walking around with a Wisp familiar because they were chosen by Magus. I really like it when characters get chosen in the course of action. So through the course of play, like when you go into a situation with dark magic, how your character responds is who you're chosen by. But I also want you to have the most agency as the player, so what we should probably do is talk about who you would like your character to be chosen by, and then probably in the first or second session, you'll encounter some dark magic, I'm told, and we'll see what happens. So let's see. I see a few boxes full. Cool. What else should I vamp about?
Oh.
Oh, you know what? I should talk a little bit about the art. If you saw the title screen, you saw that is the art for the Jock made by Minerva, Blue Troller, probably in the chat.
She is?
She does the best art. And also, she's trying to get to 1,000 followers on Twitter, so you should just go follow her right now. If you just go to, I think it's blue_troller, because she's awesome to work with, and everyone should just go pay her for art.
Seconded.
But I'll look it up so that I give the right.
I support paying anybody that can make art. Because I am lost in the woods. You give me a pencil and ask me to draw something.
It is valuable to have an excellent artist available. All right, so it's blue_troller, TROLLER. But yeah, definitely go check her out. She did all the character art, and soon, TM, there will be a cover for Lighthearted. But we're still early stages there. I think you're muted, CB.
Sorry, my 10-month-old was losing her mind. No, Master Vadar says you should watch her Twitch channel, Blue Trollers Twitch channel.
Yeah. She does live drawing. It's cool.
And
That's
a series of like Nightmare on a Sesame Street, which is just the greatest thing.
Oh my gosh, they're
That
so
sounds
good, right?
amazing.
All right. How's everybody doing?
Good.
It's like 80 degrees in here, and
Oh.
I have an air conditioner, and I really want to turn it on, but I don't know how the sound is going to happen. So I'm suffering for my art.
I've got an air conditioner and a fan on, and but I also have a headset in. So
Yeah, that's helpful.
My headset failed on me.
oh.
How dare you, headset? How dare you abandon us in your hour of need?
How could you?
Okay, cool. So, Dave, you all good?
I think I'm together with all that stuff.
Okay, it still looks blank on mine. Or is that... oh no, that's Joe's.
I wrote mine out, and I'm going to be typing it in, but I can start filling that out.
Okay.
I'm good to go.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's go around and say a little bit about who you all are. Dave, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm going to be playing Harold Edina. He, him pronouns. He's like the quick description that I came up with to fit in the character keeper is like a goth David Bowie, right? Like he's just stupidly attractive goth dude. Favorite outfit is usually a black velvet tuxedo with a black turtleneck instead of a shirt. In Southern California, which is weird. That's a bad choice most of the year. But that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like being on a live stream with no AC. That's rough. Sorry.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I think it's important to point out because I think my character is leaning into he is a person that will flirt with people.
Okay.
So when everybody else is talking about characters, if you could announce your preferences, that'd be super helpful.
Cool. Do you does your character have any preferences?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's good to know.
I think it's kind of a pan situation.
Cool. Okay. All right. Clara, do you want to go?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, shit.
Wait.
Clara, do you want to go?
See?
I told you it would be a problem. We got it out of our system now. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Audrey Ortiz. She's cheerleaders. She's a cheerleader, so she sort of still has that leftover like always wearing their warm-ups sort of look, even though she's no longer in the high school that the warm-ups are for.
Mm-hmm.
Also, mixed race Latinx. And I kind of have it that she's moved here from Texas when she was about 2 years ago. So she dropped the accent quickly, but you can still get her to pick it up if she's stressed.
Okay.
Because it was one of those things you get made fun of. Fun for. What?
Indeed. CB, do you want to tell us about your character?
Yeah, I am Cass. I came from East Berlin with my family. It is very rough there. They say that the wall will come down soon, but I do not know. I like the computers, and it does not matter what is in my pants, you pervert. So I prefer that you call me they or them. Yeah.
Very good. We will do that. Joe, do you want to introduce us to your character?
Yeah, I am Zachary Lee. I go by Zack. mixed race, Asian, Caucasian, kind of a blend. He presents masculine. I think I picture him as like early Billy Idol, but with just buzzed head. But he's got that sneer, that rebel like kind of vibe to him. He wears very punked out clothing, but what people don't know is that for him, it's not a fashion statement. Like his clothes are genuinely second or third hand. And like the tears and the rags are not like, he didn't try to fashion that out. Like this is actually what he wears. And I think he's authentically punk and rebel before it was cool to be punk and rebel. Like like he legitimately lives on the streets. Like it's not something cool to say in a rap.
Yeah.
And I would say he has some baggage, and we'll work that out in play. He prefers ladies, but he's not opposed to making a show of things to get a rise out of people. And I think he uses people that way sometimes. Like he'll deliberately get with someone just to piss other people off. For him, he gets more enjoyment out of that than actually being in a relationship.
Nice.
So
Hashtag revenge sex.
maybe, you know.
Oops, look at what you caught me doing.
Awesome.
Were we supposed to have a date tonight? Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Have you two met?
They just
What is
came
that,
over
like-
to use my shower, I swear.
Polly for punishment. This is
Polly
not the
for
polyamorous-
punishment.
This is not the polyamorous representation I wanted, Joe.
I'll keep that in mind and make it more about my own hang-ups and not try to be an ambassador for that.
All right, cool. Well, now that we know a little bit about who everyone is, there's 2 steps left in character creation. The next thing we're going to do is come up with a bond. Or actually, we can do ties or bonds in either order. So bonds are an NPC that your character has a connection to. They can be like a friend or a mentor or I don't know, a rival or a lover, anything like that. They have some mechanical benefit. They can kind of help you out from time to time. But if you want to know a little bit more about who you are through how you relate to the other characters, we can do that first, and then we can come back to bonds, or we can do bonds first. Up to you guys. I'm going to point to one person and let them pick because Zoom is terrible at open questions. So, Joe, what do you think?
I'm toying with the idea of so my bond being a mentor that I have at the college, like the idea I have is like they are the what do they call it? Like the counselors, like the
Yeah,
career
sure.
counselor,
Like
or
a-
like the
Yeah. Career
Academic
counselor.
But
I think they're
go
just
there-
academic counselors in
Right.
college.
Yeah. So it's one of that type, but I go there and I treat them like my therapist. I just go there with my life problems.
You just
and-
put office hours in and
right. Like I'll feel like I have questions about my transfer and like if this unit will like, and then like I go there and I'm just talking about my life. So
Awesome.
that's my idea
That's
so far for my
fantastic.
bond.
So let's go ahead and do bonds first. So I'll explain a little bit more about the types of bonds you can have. Let me get to that section in my book here because it's in the book. I've forgotten where it is. It is in. Sorry, I'm failing. I was so engrossed
It is
in
page 29.
Thank you. Yes. So if you're following along at home, that's page 29 of the PDF. So there's a few types of bonds. You can have an anchor, which is someone who kind of weighs you down, but they earn you heart when they cause you problems. I didn't talk about how heart works. So let me explain a little bit about it so you can make an informed choice when you go to select these kind of things. So the way heart works is it works kind of like Benny's. You can spend it to re-roll dice. You can also spend it to resist a condition or a consequence of your actions. So if something bad happens to you, I'm going to back up a little bit. This is a game where I don't roll dice. The result of your roll determines sort of like what enemies do, what the world does to you, what the outcomes are. We have banded success, kind of a PBTA-inspired feel. And so whenever you roll and I present you with a consequence of that roll, you can say as if and spend some heart and roll to resist that consequence. So that's kind of the big thing that heart is used for. It powers some of your strengths, but it also lets you reroll dice. So that's the big thing. So you can get an anchor, this is someone who's, you gain heart when you drop everything to help out your anchor. So like this could be your friend who's always getting arrested or always ending up out drunk and needs a ride, or is just like showing up at your house with stolen property. Like that's the kind of friend we're talking about. Or it could be like a relative, like an older relative kind of thing who you end up, anyone who causes you problems and you have to drop what's important to you to go deal with. You can have a BFF, so they're going to have opinions, but they are always available to help you. So once per session, you can call your BFF to do something for you, no questions asked. But they may also call you expecting you to do something for them, no questions asked. You can have a criminal bond. So this is just someone who has connections and bad ideas. So once per session, you can go to the criminal to gain access to something illegal. So you need some drugs or you need some, contraband or something illegal. You can go to them and get it. But they're probably also going to get you in trouble every once in a while. You can have a lover, someone who wants your time but offers you help and emotional support. So once per session, the lover can help clear an emotional condition or put you in control of a social situation. But they're also gonna have expectations about how much time you should be spending with them, because it's this is a positive relationship. The lover is a positive relationship. If you want a negative relationship, go for the anchor or the pedestal. The pedestal is someone you worship. They earn you heart. So gain a heart when you drop everything to fulfill your pedestal's desires. They're basically the anchor, except you think that they are perfect and they are probably using you.
Probably.
Probably.
You answered my questions.
Yeah, of course.
Now I'm wondering how real I want to make this. By real, I mean like emotionally fraught. So.
Well, I'm happy to get as emotionally fraught as we want, as long as we don't get into any of the lines that we set forward. And of course, we have the X card if it gets too out of tone.
What are the names of the relationships again? There's the anchor,
So there's also one more. So there's the anchor, which is someone who weighs you down. There's the BFF, who is there to help. There's a criminal who can get you illegal stuff. There is the lover, who wants your time but can help you out. There is the pedestal, who is basically the anchor, but it's the flip side of that relationship. And then there's the mentor. So offers advice, asks for help. Once per session, you can ask for advice, explain the situation to your mentor, and they will suggest a course of action if you have +2 while you follow their advice. So that's the last one, is the mentor. There is one other kind of bond, which you can get from a strength you buy later, called a patron. But that's only if you take French lessons.
That's actually the question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is that where that one comes in, if that's what I'm aiming for?
So that one comes in from there. So if something else that we're going to decide right now before we get into any kind of role playing is all of the characters have a schedule, and you're going to put 2 courses or side gigs in your schedule. Oh my goodness. So you're going to put 2 courses or side gigs in your schedule. Whenever you take French lessons and put it in your schedule, you immediately gain access to the patron. So if you take it now, you can just pick it as your starting patron or starting bond. Any other questions?
I'm just trying to decide now.
So it's 2. It's you could do a side gig and a class, or 2 classes, or 2
Yeah.
side gigs.
two side gigs. If your mental is D8 or higher, you can take an extra class, and if your course, and if your sway is D8 or higher, you can take an extra side gig.
Yeah, not either one. That's awesome.
Now these aren't in fiction. This isn't every class that you're taking, right? These are just the ones that you are paying attention in enough to that you can actually like learn from. So these are the things that you're going to be able to gain strengths from later. They're little like packages of 4 strengths that you can take with XP.
With the side gig, do you get access to all that stuff right away for taking it?
So you get access to the little descriptor text, gives you a minor benefit just for putting it in your schedule, but you have to pay for the other things at 5 XP each.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you can drop a class up to the point that as long as you haven't taken a strength from it. So.
Is there a full description of the patron?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It is much further down. In the setting area, I believe there is an example patron.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mr. Whitmore is the example patron. So the patron is used for so basically the benefit you get from the patron is you can spend heart on the French class or the French lessons abilities.
Okay.
I think there might be like a minor thing that you can ask them to do in the descriptor, or does it just give you access to the? It's been a minute since we went through those.
It just gives you access to start.
Okay. So yeah, you can also change your bonds as time goes on. So if at the end of session, if you feel like a bond no longer fits or your relationship with that NPC has changed, then you can form a different bond with a different NPC that makes more sense.
I'm sorry, this fell right out of my head. The class we take, do we have to pick one of the skills from the class, or do we have access to all of those skills for being in the class?
So, as an example, let's just pick one of the courses here. So, all right, so there's Intro to Magical Defense. So if you are taking Intro to Magical Defense as one of your things, your character has sought out the knowledge to defend themselves and others with magic without killing themselves. You can now use magic in a fight without risking bodily harm. That's the benefit you have just for having it in your schedule. You don't get shield or magic missile or haste or fireball until you spend 5 XP on one of them, and then you have to buy all of them at 5 XP. So you can also say take that class, get the thing that you need, and then when you rank up, you'll get to reset these. What's in your schedule? Cool. So everybody have ideas for their bonds?
Mm-hmm.
So what I need from your bond is I need a name and a brief description. Like, it can be 5 words.
Okay, I'm picking between 2, but I think it's going to be an anchor regardless.
Okay.
Or possibly not. Because I picked sort of so I want the character to have either a boyfriend that she's outgrown.
Okay.
Who would be an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Or a parent that is a little helicopter mom, dance mom overbearing.
Okay.
Which would put her as an anchor or a pedestal. I'm not sure which one yet.
Gotcha.
And I can't decide which one makes for better fiction.
You're gonna as the jock, your malfunctions are gonna cause you to hit a lot of obligation type stuff anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I think either are gonna be fine. It's just gonna get you more heart. It just depends on how you see that character. Like if you are kind of over it, or if you are just still want to make them proud, kind of thing.
Fuck. I think it's rough because I'm like in games I just suck at role-playing romance, period. I'm just actually bad at it. So it's like, oh, I just give myself a boyfriend, I'll never have to deal with it. But also
Wouldn't say never.
This is also sorry, but like it's part of me is just like, I've played with the pedestal one before and I like it, but I think that they're both fairly in character, so let me mull it over a little longer.
Yeah.
I'll flip a coin.
I mean, I think the story with the pedestal is that you eventually outgrow them, right? You learn to respect yourself enough to get yourself out of that lopsided relationship.
Yeah.
Or they come down to you, like they stop, using you.
Which actually works a little bit for the jock malfunctions in general. Again, I think I'm gonna flip some coins in a second, and also I just need to find everything again.
Cool. Does anybody have their bond kind of ready? Want to talk about them?
Yeah. I am. So since that my family is connected to the Lightborns, and it means that I can do the magic, and so I am studying intro to magecraft. But my mother, she is. That is why we left Germany. It's not why we left Germany. We left Germany because Germany is a shit show. But she is worried that people will not accept me for who I am.
Okay. I love that. Cool. So you took Lightborn Liaison, which
Yes.
means that you have some connection to the Lightborn, which are in this setting sort of, they are like fairies and unicorns and stuff like that. Anything that is sort of like touched by the light, magical creature wise, would fall into that category. So
Do I get to pick?
yeah, you do.
Unicorns.
Awesome. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Did anybody take Lightborn Buddy? So you can grab, like as you level up, you can go back and grab stuff from other cliques if you want to. But it's sort of limited to whether someone else has taken it. So I'm curious how that's going to fall. It doesn't. I don't think you took Brightborn Buddy. Did you, Dave?
No, I don't think I did. No.
Okay. So yeah. So maybe take a look at that one too when you're thinking about leveling up.
Cool.
Okay, cool. I love this character. What was your mom's name?
Mama. It's Ilsa.
Elsa?
Ilsa.
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 Do you want to...
ISLA. Ilsa.
Ilsa, okay.
No.
Do you want to type it in the bond there?
Yeah.
Because I'll just go to check. My favorite thing about this is if I ever need to know something about your character, it's all in one place. And
we can't lose or forget it.
Yeah.
I'm going to type it in all caps because because uppercase I's and lowercase L's look exactly the same.
Yeah, they do.
So it's in all caps now.
Yeah, that's.
And her name is not Olsa.
No, it's not Olsa. Her name is not Mosa, so.
Awesome. Anybody else have their bond done?
I'm just gonna go with Mr. Whitmore.
Okay.
Since he's conveniently there.
Yeah.
And he's just absolutely a sugar daddy.
Yeah. I like it. What does Mr. Whitmore look like?
I think he looks I think he's got like the prematurely silver white hair, like Anderson Cooper style.
Okay,
Right.
like all white.
Yeah, like just it snowed atop him. And I think he works probably in like big finance, something there.
Yeah.
I thought about maybe like entertainment, but nah, it's something more mundane than that.
Sure. Yeah.
So like I don't actually really know what he does. I just know he has money.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So if that's not relevant, then we don't have to care about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you mind putting a brief little description with the like white hair and silver fox kind of description? Anybody else want to introduce their bond?
All right, I got one. Unless Joe wants to go.
I'm just gonna stick with my academic counselor / therapist,
Oh,
Miss
yeah, you
Strauss.
Nice.
I went with the boyfriend, but as the anchor.
Okay.
His name is Neil Russell, and I think he's going to go to BU if that's possible.
Totally.
Basically, it's one of those situations where like Audrey wasn't allowed to date until like basically they moved out to California anyway. And so it was like he was her first boyfriend, he was a football player, it all made sense. And now that they're in this sort of relationship where they don't go to the same school, so they don't see each other all the time, they're trying to figure it out, but neither of them are like willing to admit that they're probably supposed to break up at some point. But
Right.
they're trying, and that's what's sort of weighing them both down.
Okay. Does Neil have money if he's going to BU, or did he
I
get like a
think he
scholarship?
Oh no, I think he does.
Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about BU and the difference between the couple of colleges. So there are in Bay City, which is our analog to Los Angeles. There are two places that teach magic to people. It's kind of the only thing on the West Coast if you want to learn magic for your career or whatever reason. You are either going to go to BU, which is a prestigious Ivy League school. It's been around for hundreds of years. It started teaching magic when magic became a thing. Actually, we're going to find out, I think, that a lot of modern magic was sort of invented there by, the person who writes your textbooks was a teacher there in the 40s kind of thing. So anybody who's anybody who wants to get into magic goes to BU. El Camino or Elco is the people's equivalent. It is if you don't have the money or you didn't have the grades or I don't know, you did something horrendous enough to not be able to get into BU, which has to be bad if you have enough money. You go to Elco. But it also is they're trying to bring magic to the masses, right? So it does that. They've got the goodwill. They're about community. So they end up being rivals mostly because they have magic. They teach magic, so their sports teams play against each other and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So we've got Neil, we've got Miss Strauss, we've got Ilsa, and we've got Mr. Whitmore. I can't do a German accent.
I gotta ask about Miss Strauss. Is she happy to provide like pseudotherapy?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Brad. Okay.
Like every time I walk into the office, she's like, "We have school counselors. I can refer you to somebody. I know some people. Let me make a call for you."
Okay.
But I basically just talk over her and walk out hearing what I want to hear.
That's perfect.
I love it.
What does Miss Strauss look like?
I think she's attractive, glasses, well put together lady. Well, she's not well off, but it seems like she comes from good stock, like if that makes sense. She has a very proper put together look.
Okay.
Very professional, very patient, especially with me, because I think she learned early on that it's best to just let me talk. Otherwise, I'll just keep finding ways to get back into her office. Like, I'll literally pretend to be other students and, like, do stuff that makes her life harder.
Okay. Excellent. I'm excited to find out when your character finds out that they are romantically interested in Miss Strauss, and that's the problem.
Oh, that's not a problem.
Okay, cool. So we've got bonds. Let's do ties. So ties are a series of questions that you will ask the group, and they will answer. So we'll do it round robin. So everybody will get, ask one question, and one other person will jump in and take that and answer the question for that character. So an example is, who ruined my chance at a scholarship and how? Right? So Clara would read that out for her character, and someone else would respond to it and say, I did, and this is how. That's kind of how these go. So you have, I think, 5 on this list. We're going to try to get one per other person. So we'll probably do 3 of these, which means you can skip some if you don't like them. Also, if you like one but you want to alter the wording slightly, then that's not a problem. We can mix it up if something doesn't quite fit with how you see your character. So let's go backwards from how we did before. Actually, no, I'm just going to go based on the sheet so I can work my way through. So Clara, you're actually up.
Who ruined my chance at scholarship and how? Oh yeah, definitely that.
Sorry. I apologize. You see, it was. You see, there was this. Haven't gotten there yet. How did I do it?
You just wanted to ruin my life. You didn't know how.
Let me tell you how I did it. You will not believe it. You see, I did this thing that you will not believe. But first, I must tell you what I was wearing that day. I was wearing this faded leather jacket. I have become French. Yes, I was wearing this leather jacket with the jeans with the rips. Yes, and but that's not the important part. What is important is that I went to the registrar's office, and I told him that you did not want to go because I was confused. You see, I thought, what is your name again? It's Amber. No. See, I thought that you were Amber, and so I gave them the wrong name, and that is how I ruined your scholarship. But I am very sorry, Audrey.
So you were like a clerk that just filled out the paperwork wrong?
No. She asked me to turn a piece of paperwork in, and I said it was for Amber and not Audrey.
It was a
and so they did not. So they did not write it down in the correct column because it is the 1980s and they cannot cross-check it with a computer. Everything is done on paper.
And there goes your future.
Yeah.
That is upsetting.
And this is based on a true story.
That's even more upsetting.
All right. Well,
I'm just
cool.
gonna write clerical error.
Yeah.
Clerical error. Get it?
Yeah.
Clay.
Put a dash so I remember that it's
I don't feel good about that one at all.
Kaz.
Kaz. It's Kaz.
You were a casualty? No, that doesn't work. All right.
No, that one does.
Zack, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, let's go with who got caught ditching with me, and what did we see together that we don't talk about?
I just love that question.
Yeah. I should remind everyone that these are your relationships from high school, because we are going to be picking up tonight at the last bonfire of summer, and we'll do like a tutorial of how to play the game. So yeah.
Ooh.
Clerical error.
So who got caught ditching with Zack?
I am very tempted to volunteer for this one. I think
You
that's
should.
definitely what
Go for
happened. That definitely happened. We ditched, ironically, we ditched gym because I didn't need to take it anymore, and not really, I didn't feel like I needed to take it anymore, and I don't know that you go to this school.
I'm registered technically, but like
Yeah.
I kind of just go and come and go as I please.
And-
Yeah.
no, actually, better yet, we probably ditched health because that's the class you ditch.
Nice.
Yeah, but there.
I prefer to learn that subject by hand.
That makes sense. What do we see we don't talk about? Like, the gonzo part of my brain is like, the teachers are in a cult. But, like...
Oh, shit. Go big or go home.
Fuck it, we're doing this.
Okay, so we're doing this.
Okay. All right.
Teachers are
We've
vampires.
established. Okay.
That your high school
mean-
teachers were in a cult.
Yeah, the high school-
Audrey-
Teacher cult.
What do you think the teachers union is?
Are they maybe doing some dark magic?
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
maybe just a couple of them. It's not like all of the teachers. That would be weird.
Oh, I'm blowing it up to be like they're all in on it.
Oh, it's all of them.
According to me, yes.
Okay.
That's
that
why
was-
you can't trust anybody.
That was the big scandal of your senior year, is that rumors, the school paper publishes, or no, you don't talk about it. So nobody knows still. Just you two know.
Well, part of it is because, like, Miss Strauss was there, maybe? I don't know. It was. It's possible that she might have been there. And
No,
we're not going to
not her.
acknowledge that.
No, everybody but her. She's Miss Strauss is fine. It's everybody else.
Oh, wait, yeah, sorry. Miss Strauss is
You
college.
can
is
trust Miss
college.
Strauss.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always trust Miss Strauss.
I
I
believe
trust
that.
Miss Strauss.
I believe that. Yeah,
I
no.
like it.
You know,
Sweet.
some schools have embezzlement. Some schools have
teachers?
cults.
Teacher cult? Question mark?
I like that.
Audrey.
That's just what the conclusion you came to.
Yeah, right.
It was totally like a
Teacher
yoga-
cult question mark?
Yeah. We'll have to explore that and find out.
So we talked about tone.
Oops.
I think teachers are in a cult is totally in tone with this game.
There we go.
Okay, cool. So, Kaz, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, who played Dungeons and Dragons with me, and why did you stop?
I think that was me.
Why? Why haven't?
I think I stopped because I thought that's what you had to do when your character died.
Oh, I see. I
Oh
should
my
not have
God.
thrown a wyvern at you so soon.
So
You're
I
going method with your D&D
I just got
character.
super discouraged about it because I didn't win.
I understand. Well, you Americans and your obsession with winning, but it is okay. We will have another game. You will come back.
Awesome. Harold.
Who else understands the genius of my favorite band, Alien Sex Fiend?
Alien sex fiends. They are from West Berlin, yeah?
No, I think they're British.
Oh,
For real.
never mind. A different.
Was that a
alien
real
sex
band?
fiend.
Yeah,
Oh, are they?
yeah.
I mean, this one could be it could be from West Berlin. Das
Yeah, that's
Alien
true.
Sex Machine.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this question is screaming Kaz's name, but I did just ask a question, so I don't want to like jump
There's
in.
there's plenty of slots. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
That is
we
me.
should do-
I was.
Okay.
It was me. That is why you came to my game, because we were talking about alien sex fiend, and then we were
Oh,
playing it while we were
yeah.
fighting the dragon, and then you died.
What if there was a German version of that band and you thought it was the same band?
We're talking about two
Ah.
different bands, but we never noticed.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I have
get
to look up
translate.
alien in German.
Amazing.
Like how it translates, like the
Das Alien. Yeah.
I'll try to show. No, you can't. You can't. you can't mistake the two. But we'll find something.
I love that the thing is, who understands the genius of my favorite band, and you're not even talking about the same band.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they bring in the fire, and
Like
the
fire.
dead doves they fall to the stage, and it is a great statement about the Berlin Wall.
Their German shows are very different from the British ones.
That must be. Like, I'm like, it's actually a thing that, like, my character goes on the hunt to try and find, like, bootleg cassettes of, like, their German shows. Because I'm like, it sounds so different. I gotta check that out.
I love it. I love it.
Well, that's perfect. We're definitely gonna have to go to an Alien Sex Fiend concert, but which one?
We'll have to roll.
Which
double
Alien
bill.
Sex
Battle
Fiend
of the
is playing?
bands.
It's a double bill of both of them. So the question
Battle
is
of the
never
bands
answered.
with both of them. Yeah.
They accidentally booked both.
They have to play
One's
against each other
opening
for them.
for the other.
Yeah.
No. Are they the same? So they have to be the same genre of music, kind of.
Maybe,
Oh,
but,
I mean,
well,
it could
but
be like
like-
they're actually kind of industrially. So
I was gonna
they
say
absolutely
metal
could be.
includes Rammstein and Queen, so like
Yeah.
it really doesn't have to be the same.
Yeah. Like 80s punk industrial
80s glam
metal.
or
There's
whatever.
like it's a gradient.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, cool. So we've come back around to Audrey.
How many of these ties do we have, or do we fill them all? End up filling them all out?
So we're gonna do 3 at least. If there's
Okay.
more that you want to do, I'm open.
Awesome. Who was with me when we hit that? Oh no! And why did we stop? Audrey's not a great driver. Just gonna throw that out there
Okay.
now. I mean, my motor's actually the highest score I have, but she's just not a good driver.
You don't have to have been driving either.
I feel like this could also be a good one for Zack, but I don't want to take up both slots with both of us.
Well,
But if no one
technically-
else jumps on it, that kind of makes sense for Zack, that he would be like, let's just book it.
Oh shit! Was it when we saw the thing while we were ditching?
Yeah, and then I think maybe that feeds into, like, somehow Zack's gonna blame the cult for
That's actually why we don't talk about it. It was because we
Yeah.
were ditching, and also we hit a unicorn.
And there's like this whole I know what you
damn.
did last summer thing. Like,
Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah.
yeah,
The cult was summoning the creature,
right.
Oh god.
and you
that's
hit it
even
with the car on the way.
Yeah, but it was just the mascot from, like, or I don't know. We don't know. We don't talk about it. It's never gonna come up. Shut up. Who talked? Who said anything?
How common
Two
are
people can
magical
keep a
creatures
secret
in
if
this
one of them's
world?
dead.
Can I just say I'm so glad it's a unicorn because
Because I'm
Kaz
a unicorn.
has like a relationship with the unicorns.
That's what was stuck in my head. I was like, oh no, it's a unicorn, isn't it? Okay, so how common are magical creatures in this world? Like,
Not very.
oh shit. Okay, now I feel extra bad.
It's a unicorn.
It wasn't like Onward where it's just like a deer.
No. Yeah, it's like in your trash.
Excuse me, there are trash pandas, not deer.
Yeah. We don't have unicorns banging down your trash cans.
Unicorn
they're-
just fled the Red Bull and then got hit by a car outside of a high school.
But here's the question, Zach, did we stop? We didn't stop, did we? We just kept going.
I think we stopped. I think Zack's. I don't know. Who do you think was driving?
I was definitely driving.
Okay, you were driving. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we hit the thing. Zack comes out, and he's definitely gonna strongly urge that we just keep moving. That we just someone else hit this. This isn't us. We're
This
out.
wasn't
This didn't
We're-
happen. Stop talking about it.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Jesus.
S- s-
Be cool, man. Be cool. This is how it starts.
So then
I
the
can't have
thing's
this- I
fate,
can't have this heat on me right now. I do not want this heat on me
this
right now.
this unicorn's fate is unknown then, because you drove away.
No, there's no unicorn. It didn't happen. Nothing happened.
No one's seen a unicorn for centuries. That's weird.
There's this
I know,
angry
it's-
unicorn with a limp out there that's like, someday I'm gonna find him.
You're trying to convince yourself that you ran over a horse from a party.
Yeah, it was like someone's party.
It's like a kid's birthday party horse kind of thing.
It's almost worse.
There's scenes where Zack wakes up in class and he's been subconsciously doodling in a notebook, and it's just unicorns with X's for eyes,
Oh no.
and it says, "I remember." And it's pages and pages of the same drawing.
Oh my.
Yeah, we
Well-
don't talk anymore because like.
A couple
This
of
is
days
fa-
later, you're just like, what's this stuck in the tire? Oh, it's a horn.
All right, cool. So you guys ran over a unicorn and did not stop, nothing happened. So
No,
Zach, do you want to ask a question?
I'm sorry. That's
oh,
so
man.
good.
Let's see. Who surprised me by posting my bail, and do I still owe you? That's an interesting one.
Who wants to take that?
I don't know you nothing. We don't talk anymore. We don't know each other.
See, I had a question for the answer above, or I had an answer for the question above that one,
Oh, the X one?
and
Yeah,
it was
sure.
going to be really funny.
Okay, let's hear it.
You kept doodling unicorns with eyes that said, "I remember." It's of course that's why I had to break up with you, because you do not like my kind. You do not like
No,
the
I don't.
unicorns.
No. There's no such thing as unicorns. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's just
So
not
that
a
is
thing.
why we have broken up, because you do not respect
true.
my
Shut up with the
heritage.
unicorn. Shut up with the unicorn.
So that's how you
You
screwed it up?
You know what?
Shut up.
That is how you screwed it up. You do not respect the unicorn.
I don't. Hey, I don't need this.
And
I
that
don't
probably
think
happened
I,
overnight.
I do not.
We're watching the breakup happen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like happened overnight for Kaz.
I don't need this heat right now. I don't need this heat right now.
Yeah, you do not need this heat right now. I feel the same.
I like it. I like it. If you like it, I like it. Let's go with that.
you don't need this heat right now. It's an
I
excellent.
like it, but yeah.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
I
Clearly,
won't admit
not
unicorns are
anymore.
real. That's the line. That's what that song was about, if you didn't know.
That's where Zack just cuts and runs.
Yeah. That's why it opens with the like motor sounds. It's because they ran over the unicorn.
No. Oh,
Okay.
man.
So Kaz, you got any questions you want to find out about your character?
Yes. I would like to know, whose secret do I carry? How do you know I'll never tell?
I'm stuck on the
Hmm.
unicorn thing.
Yeah, don't let Jez watch this show.
Oh, she'd be so mad at us.
She's so mad. Okay.
All right. Who's
Whose secret do I carry?
I have some secrets, but I don't know that I want to do that now. Or if
I
anyone
tend
else
to-
has
I can give you a softball. Like it's really simple.
I will take the balls that is soft.
All right.
that's what she said.
I see how this is gonna
Yeah.
go.
I've asked you to call me Zay and not she. Thank you.
Sorry.
Not you, or the other one.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. No, I think that Kaz and I probably told Kaz at one point that like oh shit, yes. I have been planning on breaking up with Neil for a year now, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
He is not your eines kleines Kinderschloss.
He's not my. I can't even say it.
Neither can I.
He's not my lobster.
No.
And like at first, it was that like it was sort of like, hey, new kid. Like I'm new, but like you're newer. So you know, hey, new kid. Like, and we just we're lab partners at some point, and we like I mentioned it, and then you're just like, oh, okay. I don't. And I almost called her my other character's name. And Audrey was like, you don't speak English, you're fine. No. But yeah, that was the...
Yeah, you're never going to find this person to tell him about it.
Yeah. Like he would never find out. None of my friends like your friends.
Well, he is not your Lebenslager Schickelschatz. I actually looked it up.
Yeah. He's not my labia slogger shingle snot. I don't know. That...
Your German is getting better.
I speak Spanish. We are not the same language.
I cannot speak Spanish with a German accent. I can't do it.
It's okay. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try to speak German. I'm not going to try to speak German with a Texan accent. So you're good.
All right, cool.
Maybe I'll try a little.
So we know that they will never tell because.
Like, who would you tell, first of all?
Right. They're not important enough, right?
Basically.
Okay. They're a geek. Who's gonna believe him anyways?
Essentially. You know how, like, you get your, like, you have your geek friend that, like, you just say, your secret friend.
Yeah, I know this secret friend.
Need something different in German.
In my country, you would have been the secret friend.
Oh no.
You're muted, hun.
It's okay. I have nothing good to say about that.
Well, let's cut over to Harold. What's your next question?
Who went on a road trip with me over the summer? Were we still dating by the end?
I have a weird idea for this.
Okay.
Feel free to exit or yes and or no, but I kind of like the idea that Zack and you went on that road trip, and Zack just refused to make it clear whether you guys were dating or not, because Zack just needed to be traveling and out of the state, because he keeps talking about, I don't need this heat right now. I don't need this heat right now. I just got to get out of here. Just come with me. Just be with me. Let's just go. Let's go do something. Just you and me. But, so like he kind of strings you along, and he gets close and then pulls away and gets close and pulls away and does this whole Zack thing.
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
But anyone else can feel free to pitch a different thing.
No, I dig that. I dig the, like, okay, is this a thing? Is maybe it's not a thing. Maybe it's a thing. Like,
I like that.
Yeah, and then Zack's just very toxic. He's just like, why do you keep asking? If you have to keep asking, and doesn't that just tell you like what's wrong with you? Like, why do you keep doing that?
Okay.
Why do you keep pushing people away? I don't need this heat right now.
So when we ask who hurt you, the answer is Zack.
yeah.
I'm sorry that.
Oh, it's rad.
Yeah,
I like
but
it.
I'm gonna commit to that.
No, that's really good.
Yeah.
Zack is.
Too real.
He's got some issues.
I don't need this heat right now.
I will redeem him by the end of the campaign. I promise.
That's the whole
Even
idea.
if you don't, I like the fact that he's just a jerk. That's rad.
You just
I like
dig
it.
the hole now and start climbing out during the game.
Yeah.
If you don't start in the basement, how are you going to build a house?
Awesome. Audrey.
Let's see. Some of these are super. I'm like, who spent the night with me when that spirit was haunting me? Let's do this.
Well, I am the ride or die, but are we going to do another round? Because I already have a bond with you.
So here's the only person I don't have a bond with officially on the sheet, actually, or on theirs is Harold.
Yeah, I think I'm down for that one actually.
That seems, and the other thought was like the other option is you lived with me for a week when you ran away, but I don't know if that's a thing you wanted to fill in or if you were going to do something else.
Maybe that was the same time.
Well, I have another idea actually, but yeah, I'm down for. I spent the night when there was a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
So you just brought the ghost home with you, and
That's how I solved the problem.
Yeah.
you're like, "Come on, you can live with
my
me,
ghost
ghost.
looks like a furry muppet of a poodle. I'll be right back.
I'm super goth. You can come and live with me."
Actually, yeah, I forgot he's a goth kid. That actually works out really, really well.
Yeah. He's the goth David Bowie.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do we need to wait for? Well, I think Dave can hear us.
Yeah,
so
he can still hear us. He's got
Zach,
the
if you-
wireless.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
If you
I
want to
only have
ask
go,
your
like,
next
8
question.
feet. Okay.
I was gonna say like what happened. If it matters what happened, but
Oh yeah. No, sorry, I tried to move on too fast. What? So what was the result of this spirit?
I feel like maybe we managed to get it to leave. Like, because like high school kids don't receive a lot of magic training, right? It's mostly when you get to college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can probably figure some stuff out, like go to the library and look up some old books or whatever. But
it's the
We
pots
watched
and
some
pans
like
version of
cheesy
cleansing.
movies.
yeah,
Yeah. So like maybe we tried a bunch of stuff that we'd seen in movies and TV shows, and finally something kind of worked, and we're like, oh shit, yeah. So now that's our go-to thing. Like, it's weird. It's like throwing an octopus at the wall that the ghost is coming out of. We'll hold it in place, and it doesn't like that. I don't know. Something.
It turns out like it's the salt water that's on the octopus at the time. Like that's what did it. But we didn't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, cool. So you got it to go away with some unusual methods. I like it. Zach.
Let me see. Who did I unexpectedly stick up for? And had you seen anyone use magic like me before? I guess for context, I imagine Zachary's magic is very explosive, very like will based. Like it's not subtle.
I feel like it would be surprising whomever you stuck up for because you're sort of a bitch.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
We
yeah,
already saw some horrible shit.
Yeah. Well, I figured. Oh, you've got.
We've been through enough together.
Well, I think maybe me.
Yeah.
I think that kind of makes sense.
I think Zach feels guilty for stringing you along, but he will never admit it.
Okay. So it's like when we got back, it just further reinforces that. Oh, is there a thing? Is there?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach doesn't want to be rejected so much that he'll try to save the people that he pushes away after. Like it's like a weird dynamic with him. So maybe, yeah, I think there's something there where, how do you think I stick up for you? What do you think the?
Well, I think it maybe it was like pre-road trip even.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Right.
That might have instigated the whole. Yeah.
Yeah. Like one of those like after graduation parties. And there were like a bunch of kids that were hassling me because I'm like the lone goth kid from our high school, and then like they started roughing me up. Like I was leaving the party and they followed me, and then suddenly you were there and like throwing fireballs and shit, and I was like, what the hell?
I like. I didn't mention this in the character description. I picture Zachary as having a like low budget like glamour that comes out when he's pissed off or when he wants to push people away. Like horns come out, like neon horns come out, and it's blue flames around his head, and he kind of does this like Ghost Rider knockoff.
Oh yeah, I dig it.
And yeah, I think he does that, and he like just stands up like next to you, and he's like, "You got a problem with it? You got a problem with me?"
No, I dig.
And the horns come out.
Nice.
I think it's probably
And
the
I'm
first
like-
set of like glamour pieces I've seen. Even
Yeah,
it's like the kid in high school who's got a tattoo, and you're like, holy shit.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
That's awesome. Cool. Okay. So...
And it's like uneven. It's like not well done. It's like it comes out weird, but it's like it's more about his intensity.
It's fucking better, dude. Your description earlier of like Billy Idol with a buzzed haircut,
Yeah.
and then like rage horns. No, I'm
Right.
terrified and fascinated.
Right.
I have to ask, how many walls have you punched, and do you show your partners when you bring them home?
I have no home, but the places where I stay usually have walls put into them. Why? What have you heard?
It's just a terrible trope.
You gotta knock holes in the walls to make sure the unicorn.
Because I don't need this heat right now. I don't need this heat right
Oh no.
I love that we found your catchphrase in character gen. Okay, cool. Kaz.
Yeah. Oh, you need with the questions. Yeah. Who was my high school crush, and did you know? Who did I have who was I sweet on during high school? And were you aware? I think that is Zachary because I have Harold and
Yeah, I'm okay with it being me or if there was someone else. I kind of like the idea that Zach also kind of liked you because you're so different. You're literally from a different world, and he feels more
Not
comfortable
literally.
with you. Well, like in his limited 1980s scope of the world.
Sure,
if you're not
yeah.
from the US.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I think he used that. Like he knew maybe you had some interest in him, and he felt safe enough to be a jerk to you.
Oh.
And that was kind of like a weird dynamic. Like
I
he was
like-
more
I-
him.
No, I like that choice though. I think that's a really I think it's a really strong. It's a brave choice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the unicorn thing happened, but it's
And then the unicorn
it's,
thing.
it's not
happened.
just the unicorn thing. It's actually Zack got attached, and he started to be afraid of actually losing you or being rejected by you. And when the unicorn thing happened, I think he definitely played that up as an out. Like, no, we can't be together because of this fucking unicorn thing. You won't let go of the unicorn thing. That's why we can't do this.
So, like, as a group, we need to learn how to break up with people.
I didn't put points in that skill, so
I don't
it's
have
not
that.
gonna.
I didn't
Dear-
take breaking up.
Dear Zachary, you are not my Lebenslange Schickelschaft.
I love it when you call me that. Don't call anyone else that. That's our thing.
Oh gosh.
I promise I will not call anyone else that. Because I'll have to have this tab open and be reading it.
Okay, cool. So have you two seen each other since high school ended? Since graduation?
I think maybe we start. I feel like we were that couple that were still together at the end of high school and like started in college but didn't survive the first semester.
Okay.
Or maybe like didn't survive past winter break, much past winter break, like broke up spring break.
Okay. Because over summer. Oh no.
Oh no. I have to.
You moved everyone around.
I'm sorry, and I'm gonna do it again because my phone is dying.
Okay.
Whoops.
Well, we'll keep
sorry.
going. I'm pretty sure everyone has figured out who people are now. So
Yeah, we can put it back together.
we'll put it back together after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's great. I want to explore later what that means for the road trip, because technically that would be while you were dating. Or did you break up at the end of high school and got back together?
And then, yeah.
So, because
Were
we're
you
gonna
on
pick
again,
up.
off again?
Yeah, we're gonna pick up before like the first day of college. Tonight is gonna be the bonfire.
Oh, I see. Oh! I didn't realize that we were starting, or rather, we were. The campaign was starting with the beginning of the school year.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me, Smalls.
I know. I'm sorry.
So to be clear, I think Zack has never ended any relationship he's been on, and he's never made any relationship official.
Okay, cool.
So he's technically still dating like a bunch of people.
Yeah, but I mean, they know. They have to know, right?
If I just leave.
You know,
They'll figure
when
it
the
out.
heat gets too much, I gotta go, and I come back, and
Okay. Okay, cool. So let's do Harold's question, and then I'm gonna figure out the things here.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with who do I have a huge crush on? What would I have to do to get you to notice me? But I think that came out of helping with the spooky ghost.
Ooh,
Since Audrey's the only person I don't have a connection with yet.
that works. If you're comfortable with that, that works.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! Secret
no.
friend. Okay, so you know that friend. This is the beginning of every 80s movie. In which like maybe we live next door to each other even.
Okay.
And like we're friends. We're childhood friends who sort of stopped hanging out because
our cliques
school.
grew two different directions. Yeah.
And like now you get to hear all about all y'all can X card this. Now you get to hear all about my boyfriend and how awesome he is. Oh wait, we couldn't be childhood friends. I just moved here. Doesn't really matter.
No, but like, since you got here.
Since I got here, so you get to hear all about my boyfriend and how much I like him and all of these great things, and you might even also you might not know, but you might have figured out that like we're slowing down, and it doesn't matter.
Well,
You've been friend zoned.
Well, and I also don't think that the boyfriend is a big roadblock.
Oh, he's a dick,
all.
by the way. I've just like that was. I'm putting that out there now. He's not like a great person.
Nice.
So the second part of that, what would I have to do to get you to notice me?
Mm.
I mean, get me to break up with my partner. Not
All right.
consider putting friend points in for sex. Saying
Sure.
something would actually be the best way to do that.
All right.
Advice to anyone listening as well or watching. If you say you're interested in somebody, they will that helps let people know you're on the field.
Look
Communication
at this.
is key.
Happy Jack's coming out with life advice that really helps.
Yeah, also if you say you're breaking up with someone, then they know they're broken up with.
That is a big that helps.
Well, I
get
guess.
that across.
Zack's taking notes.
I think you're muted, Claire.
No, yeah. I just automatically mute when I start flipping and waving around.
Oh, I meant CB. Sorry.
What is the sorcery that you are spewing? This is bad.
Communication.
This communication, I do not like it, and it is not for me. No, no, thank you.
I have a 4 in psych. I don't do it either.
Nice. Okay, cool. So how does everybody feel about their ties? We good, or do you want to go one more round?
I feel confident in my knowledge of who these people are to me.
Cool. All right. So the last step here, actually, that is the last step. We're good. So we're gonna do sort of like a tutorial. We'll roll some dice. We'll try to get a scene with each character to kind of see them in action a little bit at the last bonfire, or a bonfire on the beach on the last day of summer before school starts tomorrow. So this will probably put some characters together, like your bonds might be here, even though they're going off to BU, which is admittedly not that far away. So the first thing we'll do is we'll build out the cliques. So I'll go around and ask some questions about where everybody's at around the bonfire, what your clique is like, because this is your last chance to like see high school people before you're in college, basically. And we'll see how it's going. So whenever we get into a scene, we'll set your character's emotional state. So I'll open up by setting the scene, give us some like scene imagery. I might ask some paint the scene type questions. So I might ask you guys who's there, what's it look like, what are some interesting features, what color light is available, which is a big one because available light is how you can do types of magic. So if a place has a lot of red light, you might not be able to do violet spells very easily. Also, it's going to encourage your characters to sort of feel a certain way. So if you tell me this scene is indigo, then you're telling me you want more of a somber scene. But if you tell me it's red, then we want a passionate hot scene. If we're around a bonfire, orange and red are kind of bonfire colors. But those are the kind of things. And then I'm going to ask what song is playing. So if you're not super familiar with 80s music, there is a playlist for Lighthearted on Spotify that you can scroll through and just grab a random song. That's how we'll set scenes in this game. So we're going to open on the beach. There's a huge bonfire in the middle of the beach. And like, I think we open with like this close-up shot of a sign that says no bonfires that is lit with firelight. and then it like pushes past, like it pans around and you see people like on the beach dancing and drinking, and then we get to the huge bonfire in the middle where like a bunch of college and high school age kids are around it with someone has shelled out for like there's kegs, there's ice chests full of stuff, full of drinks and things. I think there's probably like one of those signs that says no glass on the beach that someone has broken off and jammed next to the ice chest with the glass bottles.
That was me.
Yeah. And so we'll go around and everybody gets to kind of add a detail. I want to know what your clique is up to and who's running the show for your clique. Like who's the go-to person there. So I'll open with we're going to start at the bottom of the social hierarchy. So Harold, who are you hanging out with?
I think it's it's a small group. Like our high school was not very big goth scene, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's a couple of people that are like gonna be seniors in high school this year, because they were juniors, but they were the other goth kids, so I hung out with them.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the only person that's going on to the college.
Okay,
from
cool.
The crew.
So you're kind of like, they're all looking to you for leadership here.
And I think like I'm probably getting wasted. Like, just knocking them back. But I think like I smuggled out like a couple of bottles of vodka. And I'm just This is the way you do it. Beer is for losers. Like getting real judgy on the other groups out here, but like you can't even tell we're here because it's nighttime.
Yeah.
And we're not real near the fire. And like, so like every once in a while, there's just that glint of reflected firelight off of a pale skin, like a ghost coming out of the surf.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's
Okay.
probably like I probably like set up at like one of those spots that sort of ends up between like the drifts of seaweed on the beach.
Okay,
You know?
so
So we're like-
intentionally making it difficult for people to get to you?
Yeah, like unless they want to trudge through the gross, they have to like find the way in. But like, so we're within visual range of the fire, and we're kind of just separate.
Okay,
Like
cool. So let me see. Your crush is Audrey, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think then we see we see the outcasts like leaning up against whatever they brought, or is it just like there's some rocks? And I think some of the younger ones are trying to keep up with you, to like trying to drink
Yeah.
at your pace, and then like one of the other ones is like, "Well, no, like don't, you're gonna hurt yourself."
Just let it happen. Just
So, like, one of them looks at you like they're gonna say, "Hey, maybe slow it down," and then actually, I think they start to broach it like they're, "Hey, Harold, are you okay? You're drinking real fast."
look, man, it's the end of high school. Like starting. Is it tomorrow? Like the first day of school, or is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
next week? Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like tomorrow.
Great. Yeah, that's great. Show up super hungover for your first day of college. That's cool.
See you look and feel your best.
Yeah.
So,
Like, just, yeah. Like, I'm going to college tomorrow, man.
so how do you think your character's feeling right now?
I think probably a little bit terrified,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
like, I don't know anybody at college, and I don't know what the goth scene's like. It's not like I went and did a tour of El Camino and like looked at the social circles or anything. So I think I'm kind of scared
Yeah. So,
about like, oh, I'm not gonna be connected with these people anymore that are my friends.
yeah. So I think you would mark blue as your emotional state.
Okay.
So that's where you would open the scene. And I think this kid is like, look, I know it's gonna suck, like you going away, but like, and I think they try to put their hand on yours to try to like stop you from drinking.
What the hell, man?
Well, I don't know.
It's a party.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. You gonna be okay? Like you're drinking fast.
I'll be fine. I mean, what's gonna happen? I get super drunk and I pass out on the beach. And then my alarm goes off tomorrow and I'm not there.
Okay,
Everybody
but
knows the first day of school is useless anyway.
is it though? Like, I don't know. College is important. Juniors
Maybe.
are like still super hopeful for the future.
Yeah.
Womp womp. ¿Cómo se dice? Womp womp.
I don't know. I feel. Look, I'm gonna miss having you there. So I get it, but like, I'm not hurting myself because of that.
Oh, I get it. But, you know, you gotta find your own way sometimes. And I think I'm gonna, like, take a big glug, and then I'm just gonna spit it at him. And then walk into the night.
Okay, cool. That sounds like hiss. Do you want to roll?
Yeah.
Do you want to roll to let's see how some dice work here.
Sure.
What's your goal? Is it to get him to leave you alone, or is it
Kind of. Like, I feel like this is my breakup scene with high school friends,
okay?
right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is, I mean, you get to choose what you're gonna roll. That might be glam, if you're just spitting in somebody's face.
I actually think it's probably more psych.
Okay, yeah, sure.
'Cause,
Okay.
like, I'm not doing it to look cool. I'm doing it because I want there to be a clean break.
Right.
That kind of thing.
So I think the risk here is internal then, right? Like you're wrestling with your own
Yeah,
thing.
kinda.
So I think the risk is like you come out of this either feeling vindicated, like I'm done, they're gone, or you're gonna come out of it like with a lot of regret, like shouldn't have done that kind of thing as you get out of it.
Yeah. All right, I dig that. Yeah. So my psych is a D4, and then I roll my emotion with that.
Yeah, so you're going to choose what emotion you're feeling about the action. So it's pretty aggressive. It could be red, but it might also just be sad.
I think I'm gonna stick to blue, like,
Okay.
because I feel like it's coming from a place of like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I need this.
Yeah, it's like a fear response.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're going to roll a D4 and a D8.
Okay.
And you're going to keep one of them. What'd you get?
I got 2 1s. Coming
So-
out hot. Here we go, guys.
Cool.
Sick. Okay, cool. So Snake Eyes
Wicked.
is the only time you can't spend heart to reroll.
Sure.
Of
Of course it is.
It's the risk, so you are stuck with the consequences. I think so. You're definitely gonna take like an emotional condition of like
Pathetic.
yeah, like you're feeling a little I like pathetic. And maybe you take that on yellow, because it's like it's gonna be hard to feel happy until you wrestle with that.
Yeah, all right. I dig that. Do I take a condition on the stat too, or just?
Yeah, so you mark it on yellow. So
Well,
just
But I mean, like on one of the physical, the.
so because you got Snake Eyes, I feel like this needs to escalate a little bit. And I think we're just gonna have you bump right into a bunch of like older dudes who are looking for a fight.
Great.
Perfect.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
kind of older dude.
So like these are the like 22-year-olds that came to the high school party, and they've clearly struck out, and so they are now looking to fight someone. But we're gonna come back to that. So you just add like pathetic as a condition on yellow, and then anytime you would roll that emotion, you skip that die. You just don't roll that die. So you're only rolling one die while you have that condition. Okay, cool.
What a
So-
better way to start being a goth.
Totally on brand.
Lose the ability to be happy.
Oh snap!
Okay, cool. So let's cut to one of the other characters here. So let's jump over to the geek. So Kaz, who are you hanging out with? What are the geeks up to at this thing?
Oh, yeah, I have seen the way he spits the vodka, and I'm very upset because I would like very much to have the vodka. I am with the astrology club. You see, there's Venus is in Capricorn, and we wish to observe this. Yes, so we are setting up the telescope. But all the people with the fires, it says there's a sign. The sign says no bonfires, and yet I can count 1, 2, 3. There are 6 or 7 bonfires. It's very distracting.
So who's kind of the head geek here? Who's like leading your group? Is it you? Are you in charge here, or is it?
I am. They look to me because I am the oldest, but the new president, his name is Philip. He is in charge, and I am, and he keeps trying to say, Kaz, you tell me, no, Philip, you must know because I am leaving. I'm going to school, you see, and it must be you now.
And I think Philip is like, I don't know. Okay, look, I won because I have the highest grades, but I'm just not really good at leading people, and people just kind of listen to you, Do
you know why they listen to me, Philip? It is not because I am smarter than you. It's because of the accent. If I did not have this accent, if I talked like this, do you think that anybody would listen to me? No. You must find what is interesting about you.
So I need an accent.
Bitte. It is not that you need an accent. It is that you need something. Perhaps your head. We could put it a different way. And can we pretend like he's wearing like a baseball cap?
Of course.
And I take his baseball cap and I rotate it 90 degrees, so it's like sticking out the side. See, I'm set. Now you are unique.
Okay, but this is making me really anxious, and I just feel like, sorry. Okay, but this is just making me really anxious, and I feel like if I just had like a cool, like if I was like wee or what, like I don't know.
Philip. Is there anyone in this club that has not known you since grade school? They're not going to think that you suddenly became French.
Okay, yeah, I buy that.
So take off his glasses.
What is it that you love to do the most, Philip?
What I love? Well,
yes. What is it you love?
Okay. Well, I mean, I love the stars.
Can you tell me the name of that one?
Well, yeah, I mean that's Orion.
And the one over there?
I'm gonna run out of stars. Taurus?
That's yeah. Just look.
Alpha Centauri?
Look at the incoming freshmen. Do you think any of them knows all these stars?
Probably
no,
not.
Little babies.
Okay,
They're
but just
babies.
I can put this. Okay,
Sure.
I feel more comfortable. It
is not the head. It is the idea that you have a thing, something that makes you feel it, something that makes you special.
Okay. All right, let's try it. And he turns around to everybody. Do you want to try to are you trying to inspire him in any way?
Yes, I'm trying to inspire him I'm trying to inspire confidence.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think your emotional state is coming into this?
I think I am kind of frustrated because I thought I was done. And yet here I am the day before I start at a new school and I'm still helping these motherfuckers.
Yes. I love it. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to mark so are you angry, red, or are you
sorry. Oh, I am more like, I guess I'm honestly kind of a little sad. I think is the root emotion.
Okay. Like that everyone's going to open up sad because it's the last day before college.
Yeah. Listen, the last day before college is sad, okay?
Your graduation goggles.
Yeah.
I will remember. Okay, no, but the last day before college, you don't have a GPA, you don't have, anyway.
How are people supposed to know where I stand? I have no academic research. I have no facts to push at them.
There's no facts to push at you.
Okay, cool. So you're feeling blue, or indigo, probably if you're feeling sad.
Yeah.
So you're trying to inspire confidence, though. So this sounds like sway.
Okay. Oh wait, I think I have a thing that gets.
I think you're muted.
Did you take just the facts? Yes, you did.
I did take. Sorry. Yeah, I think I have a thing that lets me take them. Take mental if I have sway. I have just the facts. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can roll mental instead because you're pointing out the things that are factually impressive about this person.
Yes. So I'm rolling that in indigo.
If that's how you feel about pumping this person up, if you're feeling differently about it.
Oh, I'm not feeling indifferent. No, I'm feeling more. Sorry, I lost my page.
That's okay.
I'm feeling more. I would say like green. Self-reflection and transformation, trying to make him bigger.
Trying to help him grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So you're going to roll a D4 and a D8 for mental. What'd you get? Really?
Yes!
Really? Okay.
Really?
That is amazing.
Prepare your story for no success.
Okay. So, all right. So, I think. Oh, I know what happens.
This is going great.
This is going really well. So, the other thing that happens when you roll the dice, if you roll an emotion that is not your current emotion, you move your emotional state one towards it. So, because you rolled green and you were currently indigo, you would move the check mark to blue.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're going to shift back and forth on this spectrum as we go through scenes. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think, I think the big bad thing that happens here is that you point out that all you have to do is be the smartest person around to impress everybody, and someone else knows more about this than them. And so they take over the group. And this person ends up sort of destroyed and distraught.
Oh no.
Yeah. I think we'll come back to find out what happens to poor Philip. But they definitely march off a little dejected as someone else has taken over the group to talk about the stars. So poor Philip. I love all these these snake eyes on the front. Let's learn how to play the game. Okay, let's roll double ones at a time.
Right.
All right, cool. We're moving our way up the social hierarchy here. What's our rebel up to? Zach? What are you up to?
Zack is kind of hanging back. He's in a really bad mood today, and he's hanging out with a bunch of the rebel kids, but they're not kids. It's some of these people are in their late 20s, 30s, and they're rebels because they're lazy. And Zack is just watching this group of 2 or 3 of them. They're huddled together, kind of being loud and obnoxious, but they're all wearing the exact same jacket that they bought from a store that had pre-made studs and things. And one of them is talking about how hard it is being punk right now, how hard it is being really anti-establishment. And then the other one right next to him is talking about how hard it's been going to Beaumont and how tough it is like with the economy where it is, and how businesses are really struggling right now, and how tough it is to be punk. And all of this is just setting Zack off, like in a really bad way. And he's furious. He's like red right now. And like he's bathed in like the bonfire light. And he's kind of got that devil look about him right now. And he's like, fuck these guys. And he walks kind of away from the group. He passes by the bonfire, and we see him take something out of his jacket, and it looks like a letter of some sort. He crumples it up, tosses it into the flame. We might find out what that is later. But he walks off in the direction of where Harold was. Not knowing, but that's the direction that he's heading into. Just away from the group, done with all these posers, done with all these fakers.
Awesome. I think someone from the group definitely like calls out like, hey, Zack, where are you going? And the one who's at Beaumont now is like, just let him go. He just wants to sulk. Pissed just because people have a little something of their own. And they like he manages, like he tries to turn the group away from you, and they like turn back to the party as you like stomp off towards the impending conflict with these two people that have found Harold.
If I can be a bit self-indulgent with the narrating, I think at this point maybe the camera pans back to the bonfire, and we kind of zoom in on the piece of paper that Zack had thrown, and it unfurls in the embers, and it's a Beaumont acceptance letter with a scholarship.
The Twitch. So speaking of Audrey, how is Audrey doing? Who are you with right now?
Well, the whole cheerleading squad has already, like, since it's the day before college is started, we've had the whole summer. So, we've definitely had, like, the new captain has been picked. It operates sort of like a club, I assume. And they've all been, and she's with her old squad, and I'm going to assume there's a cheer squad at the new school.
Yeah.
Or at least auditions, tryouts.
Tryouts.
I was not a jock in high school.
That is shocking.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you go to auditions for
I referred to an interview for a job as an audition once, so like this is where we're at.
Yeah.
All
the world's a stage.
Like, I'm not sure if tryouts for the new school have started yet.
Well, I want to say no, so that we still don't know.
Okay,
I think maybe there have been like some practices or something like that.
Yeah.
But like official.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like they've had everybody come out and do the cattle call thing, but they haven't called anybody back to see who's actually going to get on the squad for cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like, I mean, this is a magical world, so who knows how cheerleading works in this world?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of levitation.
Yeah, so flyers, or the term flyers is a lot more literal.
Yeah.
But so there's sort of all the cheerleaders from the high school are now all together and having that like, this is our last chance to be together, and they're kind of like happy because like in that way, first of all, they're all kind of probably drunk, but there's also that like, I don't even know how to describe it, like that really good like female connection you get when you have like a group of friends that you're really close to. Clara and I know nothing about this.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. But yeah, just so I have her at yellow because this is sort of like a happy ending rather than like a scary one.
Yeah.
And like, you know, maybe tomorrow there'll be tryouts. Who knows?
Okay.
Or at least next session. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they're having sort of also, I found out this game's gonna be really fun with smart lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go get one.
Yeah. But she's having a good time. I think, and this is also sort of like the last time people who are going to be you and Elco they're gonna see each other. Like,
yeah.
It feels like the end of the world. It's not.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the end of the world. There's definitely like other people trying to breach the circle, right? Like guys trying to get in to hit on you, and like girls trying to get in to hit, like everybody's trying to get into and like the circle is holding. But there's one moment where everyone realizes that you're the only one going to Elco.
Oh no!
Like, because everyone's like talking about how excited they are. Like, one girl got on a professional sports team, and like a couple of them are going to BU, and some of them are like going on to business school or whatever. And it like we realize that you're the only one who's like staying and going to community college. But no one's made a deal about it yet. But it's definitely like as soon as everyone's talking and saying their thing, it comes around to you. And you have to say something about what you're excited about.
Yay! And she's not super like she's pretty good at faking being excited, but there's definitely like, I'm super sure that I'm gonna honestly, I'm super sure I'm gonna make the team and everything's gonna be great. Like, yeah. She sort of tries to lie a little bit about that.
Okay. I think this is a roll because we're doing the tutorial, so let's roll some dice.
She's definitely totally cool with it.
Yeah, so you're feeling yellow. So lying, is probably sway, but if you can come up with a different reason why it wouldn't be.
No, it's good.
And then how are you feeling about this lie? Like,
disappointed.
So like blue?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be a D4 for blue then, since you're at yellow right now.
D6, D4?
Yeah. You keep the highest.
I didn't get snake eyes.
So, since you didn't roll once, did any of them get the highest number on the die?
Yes, I got a D6 and a 3.
Okay, so the dice explode. So, if you got a 6 on your D6, you can roll it again and add it to the total.
Okay, 8.
8, cool. So the way that the success bands in this game work, since this is the first time we haven't had Snake Eyes, is
Oh my God.
Snake Eyes is like worst possible outcome. Above that, you end up with 3 to 4, or 2 and 3 are like you didn't get what you wanted, and you get whatever the consequences are. On a 4 to 7, you succeed, you get whatever you were trying to get, like what you were trying to achieve happens, but you probably still suffer some consequences or get a hard choice. On an 8 plus, you succeed and you don't suffer any consequences. If you get a 12 plus, then it's like great effect, and like something better happens, or you gain a heart or clear a stress or something like that. So you landed, what did you get, an 8?
Yeah, an 8. Do I have to add, and I add the D4, yeah?
No, you pick one or the other.
Oh, in that case, yeah, I got an 8.
Okay, cool. So that's, you don't suffer any consequences from this, and you're convincing. You manage to, do you convince yourself?
No, God, no.
Okay, but you convince everyone else, and you keep the mood light, and everyone stays chipper, and the conversation goes around, and nobody feels bad. You don't get the pity stares or anything like that.
Yeah, which would be way worse than sympathy.
Yeah, yeah. But no, everything's good. The girls' night continues, and you can stick in there as long as you wish. I want to pick up with Harold and
getting beat up.
Yeah. So I think the camera, like, I think there's like a high five near you, and on the audio, like, of the clap, we pick up on a punch. So
okay.
Yeah, so I think you are about to get, like, the punch is coming. you can make a reaction roll to get out of the way. Harold.
I will try that.
So reaction rolls and actions are basically the same, except I call for reaction rolls and you roll actions when you want to do something. So so this punch is happening. You're getting decked. The risk here is you're going to take a physical condition like a black eye, but you can get out of that by trying to dodge or block or whatever. You tell me what it is and how you want to do it.
I think I'll try and. You know what? I'm upset already, right? I think I am absolutely gonna just try and do like the superhero, like catch the punch, right? Like just pissed. Like I'm not taking this today. Like this is just, especially because I'm already drunk and that makes me extra stupid.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I mean that sounds like bod to me.
Yeah, I think so.
What emotion are you?
You want it to be motor?
I think because you're trying to catch it, right? You're not trying to like block it. You're trying to like grab it, which that's a strength thing.
Dodge. Yeah. Okay. All right, I dig that. And it's probably red.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just mad about it.
Yeah. So that's a D6 and a D4.
All right, lucky time. Here we go. Okay. And the dice explode?
Yes, they do.
All right. Let me roll that again. And it's additive then?
Yeah. You keep one or the other. So like you're either going to keep your D6 or your D4, but they add to each other. They add to themselves.
Well, this guy's getting wrecked. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Because I just got a 13.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Cool. So not only do you not take any consequences, but this dude like, it looked like he threw a really hard punch, and you just like grabbed it out of the air. And like, what do you do? What happens? I'm just gonna give you. You're in control of this situation, so you tell me what happens to this dude.
I think like in a slurry voice because I'm drunk, but I'm just angry. I'm pissed off at what happened back there. I'm pissed off at these kind of guys that come around and think they can push people like me around. And I like just grab his hand and do like the squeeze. So his like it pops the knuckles and it hurts him, right? So he's like and he looks weak and stupid in front of his friends. So it's an embarrassing thing for him also. And I'll be like, just go. You already struck out with everybody else at the party, and you're freaking 22 years old. Get out of here, creepy old man.
That's so I mean, do you want him to just like leave? Is that the?
Yeah. I think the whole idea is just get the hell out of here. What?
Yeah.
You know, you're pathetic.
So I think he I don't think he can get out of your grip. So like he waits for you to let go of his hand, and like he looks like he's gonna do something, and then his buddy just grabs him and like is like, sorry, and they're like, we're just gonna go, and like his buddy like kind of drags him away, and I think that's when Zack gets there.
Yeah, cool.
Do you want to come up behind these guys, or like behind Harold?
I'm trying to find a way to retcon what we established, where I stand up for Harold. But if these guys have been subdued, then like maybe we need to escalate it somehow.
Yeah, we could do that. If you want to come up behind these guys and be like, you're not getting off that easy kind of thing.
I'm kind of thinking, what if these guys kind of slink away, but they're coming back with their bros, like they're
they like go get friends,
right? Like, no, this goth kid's not gonna we're gonna handle this goth kid.
Yeah.
And I want to make my entrance at that point.
Sure. Okay, so I think they actually get back. How far away do you go, Harold, from your other goth friends after this happens? Like, do
Probably
you stay within
awake.
eye line?
I think I'd probably head over to like the fire
Okay.
and start like looking for other people that are gonna be going to college and that.
Cool. Okay, so then I think we just pick up a little later in the party then with these guys showing up with like 4 more dudes behind Harold at the bonfire. And there's this moment where people start to notice that something is about to happen. And the one who like got his hand squeezed is definitely looking to like prove himself.
Right.
So yeah. So I think everyone is kind of around here now. So everyone can be in this scene. And these 4 guys, like, they pull up behind you, and the other guy's like, I want a rematch.
Gonna be a Donnybrook then, is it?
Zack is within earshot of all this, and he sees Harold, and he sees this group of guys. And normally, Zack wouldn't care, but these guys are wearing the same damn jackets. The same damn jackets. And they're acting like they're special and they're punk, and they're like, I'm so sick of these posers, man. I'm so sick of these fakers. So I just push myself right through, like break myself into it, and I'm between them and Harold. And I'm just like standing there. I'm like, you guys gonna grow up or what?
And I think the guy tries to insult you, and he says something dumb like, we're gonna show up. And that's when he tries to like initiate right, like it's not a good insult.
Right.
And then
not a good comeback.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he like, I think he jumps at Harold, but because you've like placed yourself in the middle, like you can definitely intervene here.
I would like to motor. What I want to do is I want to so he's lunging towards Harold. What I want to do is I don't want to fight him so much, but I want to like position myself so that he bumps right into me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to take the hit instead of
Right.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna.
That's bot or motor, but whatever.
Yeah, motor to get in the way of something.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
So if you succeed, I think the risk here is that you take some physical harm. Like you're gonna get hurt.
Sure.
If you roll really well, then maybe you manage to get in a position where you just stop the advance. But like anything less than an 8, you're gonna take like, I don't know.
Okay.
Bruised rib or something like that.
I'm totally cool with that. Zachary's feeling it right now.
Cool.
So my motor is a D6, and then is there another one that I roll in addition to the D6, or is it?
Yeah. So you would pick what emotion you're feeling about this.
I'm in red. Like I'm angry.
And you're feeling angry.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
so
I want to ruin somebody right now.
So you're gonna roll a D8 for red, but you're also gonna mark stress on red.
Okay. Cool. D8. Where's my D8? There it is. Okay, here we go.
So just put like an S in the condition box when you're done. Cool.
I rolled a 5 on my D8 and a 6 on my D6.
Okay, so roll your D6 again.
Explode the D6.
Yeah.
And I get a 6, 7, 8, 9 on the D6.
Okay.
Roll a 3.
Yeah. So you managed to like, what does this look like? You don't like get any extra benefit, but you don't get hurt here.
Right. I'm basically like, he's lunging, so I kind of grab him by the scruff, and I move myself and him so that he's right in my face, and this is where I want to bring my horns out.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the like, I don't think you have to roll for that. That's established. The horns come out. You pissed.
Yeah.
You're already taking stress on red.
Right.
And I think this dude, like, it is not his night. And you can see in his eyes that he is about to make a dangerous decision. Like, he's going to escalate. So you see him starting to, like, move his hands, and and you see the firelight, like, starting to pull towards him.
Okay. Oh my gosh. The smart thing is to de-escalate, but that's not Zachary.
Can you said that we're all here?
Yeah.
Okay.
This would not have escaped our attention, I'm sure.
No. Yeah, everybody can notice the fight that everyone... I think there's actually like a fight chant has broken out.
Oh, yeah.
Unless anyone wants to jump in with a bit, like, I think Zachary's just gonna, like, meet the ante. And if he's drawing in red light, so am I. And now things are literally burning up. Like blue flames are coming out of my horns now. And I'm not flinching. I'm like, do you want to do this?
Nice. Okay, CB, you had a thing you wanted to do?
I don't know what the actions are yet. So I'm like, I don't know what I can do.
You can do anything you want, and then we'll just figure out what to roll.
Got it. Okay. I wanna try and calm them down.
Okay.
How
do you want to try to do that?
Well, I mean, my thought is, gentlemen, this is not the way that we will resolve conflict, or
okay.
Trying to know it all them into being annoyed with her instead of furious at each other.
Yeah. So so there's two dudes fighting. He's got his buddies behind them, and you want to say this isn't the way to do this. So these are also like rebels, a bunch of rebels, and you're a geek. So I think you're at you might be at a little bit of a disadvantage here. Everyone's chanting fight. I think you're going to be at -2 to do that. But you could definitely roll to try to convince them.
Okay. How does XP work again? Because this is definitely against my nature.
Yeah. So if you hit one of your XP triggers, then you just mark an XP.
Okay. Well, gain XP when you defend yourself or someone else.
Yeah.
So, okay. Cool.
Yeah, you just stood up to 4 rebels, so yeah.
Damn. Okay, so I'm looking at mental and what?
So if you're stating the facts, if you can make a case, what are the facts that you are using to convince these rebels that
conflict resolution does not begin with physical conflict. You must use I statements. I feel frustrated because you are not listening.
That's beautiful. Okay, so yeah, you can roll mental there. How do you feel about that?
Very confident. I am right.
You are correct. You are technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
Which is the best kind of correct.
So you're probably rolling orange for your emotion, if you're feeling confident.
Yes.
So you're going to roll a D8 and a D4.
D8 and a D4. Let's see what happens this time. Okay. -2 is a total of 4.
All right. So a 4 is you succeed, but you're going to take a consequence. So, or maybe there's a hard choice. So I think what happens is you can choose here. Either they don't listen to you, they're like, psh, and they keep they stick to what they're doing, or they stop, but they all turn to you.
I'll say they stop, but they all turn to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think.
Sorry, that's the kind of player I am.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So one of them is kind of locked in in with Zack, right? So he's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna extricate himself from you, but he's also no longer casting whatever spell he was doing. But he's like, you're still kind of stuck, right? Like he's on guard. The other 3 turn, and the biggest of them walks up to you and says, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" I took the fuck. I'm sorry.
And then you went.
We won't take it away from. I won't count. I won't count it against you guys.
For the players, man. We
Sorry.
need that.
What the hell did you just say to me? We'll X my fuck. We'll back it up.
I was gonna get involved.
I start speaking in rapid fire German.
Okay. It sounds like Clara wants to get involved. So what are you gonna do? Because
it's our part. Like I feel like it's sort of our party. It was the not specifically the cheerleaders clique, but like it was sort of
the preps and jocks.
It was the halves party, and then these guys show up, and they've already pissed off all the girls here and some of the guys by just not hitting on anything that moves, and now they're starting fights, and like it's our last time we're gonna see each other. So and like now they're coming after Kaz, who like didn't do anything wrong. Like Audrey does not notice or care about Harold or Zack.
Nice.
Love it.
I think now she's going to try to get involved again and maybe drag probably either Neil or one of the other cheerleaders in with her, because this is our party.
I like bringing in Neil here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's going to be a BU student. Like, figure that out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna
what
get
sport does Neil play?
Oh, he's a football player.
He's football. Got it.
Unless you want to be real douchey and he's a lacrosse player.
That's a good one. He's going to be you, like.
He's a lacrosse player. It was like the edgy choice amongst my friends.
Yeah. All right, he's a lacrosse. I think he's a both, right? He plays both.
He might, yeah, like football in the fall and lacrosse in the spring.
Yeah.
Either way, the guys are possibly gonna get beat up by a girl, like a cheerleader in a bikini and a Letterman. So like, you know.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you and Neil and probably some backup do what now?
We're gonna try to intercede because like we were having a good time and then they came and and ruined everything.
Okay.
You
so
can use it in the descriptive term.
The word fuck now.
I love the PG-13, right? It's so good because it makes it matter. And I promise I won't take it again. I'll not take the one fuck. Okay.
Our ESRB.
We're a family show. Yeah. So.
Are we?
Never.
And so here's my question. This is technically calling on my clique.
Mm-hmm.
Or what is it? Which I think is one of my like, you should do this thing. I can't find it now. Maybe I was wrong.
Are you talking about one of your malfunctions or one of your strengths?
I think it's one of my strengths.
Because you have shot caller.
I do.
When you lay out a plan, if anyone falls, they gain heart.
Oh no, then I'm thinking about something else. But either way, it's not violent yet.
Right. Yeah, it almost was.
By a cheerleader.
Okay, cool. So, so what do you do?
I think we're gonna get involved and do the like John Mulaney. Okay. But like better, and then like we were having a good time. Like if you can't play nice, you need to leave. Also, we're probably all a little drunk at this point.
Yeah.
I'm bringing numbers in.
Sure. Okay. So it sounds like you're trying to just get them to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think you need to roll for that. And I think the risk here is that Neil just flat out decks one of them.
I would love to see that happen.
So you can just tell me, yeah, Neil's just gonna like you could be like, I think that might happen.
Try.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
I want to leave it to fate, but I know that's probably like we're gonna leave it to fate, and now I'm not gonna roll badly. We'll see. Maybe I'll lie. What do I need to roll for this?
Well, I mean, it sounds like sway.
Yeah.
And how you feel about it?
Confident. We drunk in here.
Okay, so you're rolling orange, so that's a d6.
Oh, cool. 2d6. That means I have to get out more dice. Oh no. Hold on. Oh my god. There we go. Well, a 5 is the highest I've rolled on this. A 5 and a 3.
Okay, so for a 5, you're still going to suffer some consequences, which we established is Neil, like, escalating.
Oh, yeah.
But you do get what you want, so...
I mean, he could deck them and leave, and they could leave with their tail between their legs, and that would be it.
I think what happens... Okay, so here's I think how it plays out, and we can negotiate, right? I think Neil grabs one of them, like, puts him in a chokehold or something.
Of course. And
the two that were, like, the one that was about to destroy poor Kaz is like, you know what? It's not worth it, and he turns to leave. And he and his buddy leave. But the one who's in a headlock with Neil, and Neil's just not letting go. Like, he didn't get that they're supposed to go now. So he's like still struggling with this guy for no reason. And the dude with like locked in a fight with Zack is like, no, this is still on. So I think it's like mixed result, right? Like you get reduced. Yeah. So a couple of them fuck off. That was not in character, so I can say it. And the other two, you still stuck with a fight, but it's a lot fairer fight.
Okay. I will accept this.
Okay. So, Harold, you're being stood up for and not being asked what you want to happen. What are you doing?
So, I was really torn on which direction I wanted to go here. Because one part of me wanted to grab a on-fire stick from the fire and hit somebody with it in the face. But the other part of me thinks that I have just left.
Oh, that you just walked away in the shuffle?
So, like, things are starting to happen, and I'm just like, I am the knight. And
Well,
I just
fuck it.
fade away.
I am the knight.
like, yeah, I think, like, that's, like, I started all of this. Kind of. I mean, like, they started it, but, like, I still caused the humiliation that brought them back in greater numbers. Like sand people from Star Wars. They will soon return. But, so instead, I think I have just slowly maneuvered my way back around the other side of the fire and then out. So that I'm gone.
Okay.
Like, by the time anybody looks around, I think I'm just not there.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Like, I don't know if you want me to roll something for that.
No, you definitely not to, like, in the chaos that's been going on there, and you weren't like being held by anyone. You could definitely just slip away. Yeah. So your character like leaves the scene basically. Kaz is no longer being insulted, but there's still a couple of dudes that look like they want to fight. Neil is still not let go. And he's now like throwing insults at the like, you damn burnouts think you can go where, like, and just like screaming at the rebels, and probably like using some language that is not kosher with Zack, right? Like it's all the same. It's all the shit you've been called your whole life.
Unless anyone else has a move they want to do, I think Zack's gonna attempt a rebel yell maneuver here, and he wants everybody to start one of these poser rebels because he's gonna call out they're all wearing the same jacket from the same store in the mall.
Nice. I like it. Okay, go for it.
What would I roll for that? Is that sway,
so?
I believe?
That's probably gonna be sway.
Okay.
Rebel yell. You know what? I think the only reason there's a roll here is because we're trying to stop the fight. It sounds
Right.
like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you're going to get them to do that. We're just going to see if it works to stop the fight.
Right.
So you're going to roll sway, and what do you think you're feeling about that?
I don't know that it's raw anger. I think it's more will. Like, I'm done being angry. Like let's just settle this. Like, this is getting stupid and boring now. It's not even fun having this fight.
Right. It's not even a good fight.
Yeah, it's like this is just dumb now. Yeah.
Cool. So that's probably orange.
Okay. Cool. And that would be, so I'm currently
red. So you're gonna roll
red.
a d6 for orange.
And d6. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. 7.
Okay. I think the consequence here is that these are the older guys, right? Like, these are scene kids.
Yeah.
Like, this is your scene.
Right.
And I think it's like, it's clear that you are not going to be welcome next time you show up at, like, the punk show or whatever. Like,
right.
It's you've turned on them, right?
Yeah. I rebelled against the rebels.
Yeah. And so they're gonna, like, you're kind of getting shoved out, right? Like, the word will spread that you turned on your buddies, right? And so, like, you're gonna have trouble next time. I don't think that's a condition. I think it's just, like, that's a thing that's gonna be a problem next time you're at a punk show or something.
That makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, they back off, and one of them, like, the guy who was, like, engaged with you, he like, I don't even want to see you at what's the name of the club? What's the punk club?
Das Bunker?
Okay, I don't even want to see you at Das Bunker. And he, like, turns, and, like, the two of them, the one dude, like, tries to scramble out of Neil's grip. And he, like, ends up throwing him, and these dudes, like, back off and get out of here.
Hope you all kept your receipts. Here, there's a 15-day money back.
And then it's just like this over the shoulder, right, as they walk away. And I think, like, to add insult to injury, Neil comes over and he goes, "Pretty cool, man."
I wish he hadn't done that. God damn it, stupid Neil. Stupid Zack.
I too don't like what I'm doing right now.
I wish I could stop.
I in character, what I want to do is I want to be a jerk to him and push him away, but I don't. As the player, I'm struggling with what I would say, so I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah. I mean,
You want to use your F word?
I don't need your help.
Fuck you, man.
Like, what would be a thing that would be, like, kind of cutting and, like, unnecessarily, like, rude to him? Like,
I don't need help from a cheerleader wannabe.
there you go.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say. Yeah. I don't need no help from cheerleader like you.
And yeah, I mean, I think he's, like, he had his hand out, right, like, to like shake your hand or high five or whatever. And
I spit in it.
And he pulls back and he's like, "These people are hopeless." And he, like, turns back to go back to the popular kids.
I gain 1 AXP.
Does anybody want anything else to happen before we wind down the bonfire?
I think I'm good here.
Okay.
I'm good.
So I'm very satisfied.
Okay. So I think the bonfire goes back. The party resumes. Most of the non-desirables have been excised from the group, as is, the right and proper way for the preps and jocks. And I think, eventually everybody starts getting a little drunk and a little swimmy, and they all, like, a good chunk of kids end up out in the ocean, and a good time is had by all. As Harold is walking away, you notice up on the ridge, there's like an outcropping of rock or something where there's like a look point where you can park and look out over the ocean, and you can see like green light up there. And like any other time, that would be a thing, but like this night has been a lot. It's been too friggin' much, and like at this point, it's just not worth it. But yeah, there's some weird green light coming from up there, and it moves like it's doing something. But yeah.
I feel like I might be the kind of person that would have a camera with them at all times.
Sure.
Yeah, so I take a picture of it to see what I can capture.
Okay. I think from the bonfire, it's pretty hard to see because of the light pollution, right? But if you're just taking pictures of the scenery, you could definitely get a picture of that.
Okay.
I think I'd make my way up there.
Okay.
Like, if it's possible. Like, if it's like...
Yeah. I mean, there's...
like a 300-foot cliff or something.
No. It's probably like one of those rickety, steep, carved stairwells in the rocks.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd head up there.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, you get up... Are you trying to be sneaky, or are you just, like, walking, like, storming into the... whatever it is?
Well, I don't think I'm, like, storming. I think it's more like I'm just kind of casually going up the stairs. Like, oh, what's up there?
Sure. Yeah, so you get to the...
As far as I know, like, all the danger is back. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's happening down there at the bonfire.
Yeah, there's... I mean, you get kind of towards the top of the stairwell. You can hear some voices. And they're talking in... I don't know, it's not Latin. Like, you've probably heard Latin, right? They're talking some...
teacher cult.
And yeah, and there's some green light coming, but there's a lot of bushes and stuff, and you think you'd have to get you'd have to roll if you want to get much closer to really see what's going on without being noticed.
I don't think I'm concerned, really. Like, I think I'm just gonna walk up there and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Oh, okay.
Kind of like curiosity. Like,
yeah.
All right.
So there's like 4 people standing in a ritual circle, and yeah, like this green light is pulsing, and you can kind of see like shadowy tendrils pouring out of it and heading towards the water. And one of them turns and just like waves their hand at you, and it just goes to black. And I think that's where we end tonight's session.
I dig it.
Fantastic.
Fucking knew it.
Fucking unicorns.
Fucking unicorns.
Fucking unicorns.
I know unicorn magic when I see it.
So,
Oh my god.
The shadowy unicorn tendrils.
Oh god.
So this has been Lighthearted. This is the first session of Saint Elco's Fire. And I'm excited to get to know all these characters more. I love some of the dynamics that we have here. I don't remember the exact structure for the end of the show, but I can go through the game end, and then we'll go around and do outros. And if anybody wants to plug anything, we can do that. This has been our session. I hope you enjoyed it. Join us again on July 27th at 7 p.m. That's a Monday for our next session. If you just like Mondays, you can watch Great American Witch next week with Chris Gray, who's cool and a good bud of mine, and Joe here. If you want to catch up on episodes of our stuff, you can go to Happy Jacks and search for it. I don't know when it'll be up there. And you can find
/shows.
Yes, happyjacks.org/shows, and you can see all the other APs on the Happy Jacks network. If you want to find me or you want to learn more about Lighthearted, you can find me at Kurt Potts on Twitter, or you can go to lighthearted.games with an S to find out more about Lighthearted. I'll throw it to CADave.
I am CADave. I'm happily, as of right now, appearing right here and every other Monday subsequently. I've heard some rumors that in the future I may return to a Sunday game on the Happy Jack stream, but I'm not sure when that's going to kick off again, so I think it's next month. So we'll see as the days continue to blend together. We'll find out where we end up.
Unseasonably hot for March, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I occasionally tweet stuff, but yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Clara, do you have anything to plug?
Hi, I have been Clara. I'm all over the internet as Clearly Golden, unless you're into mermaids, in which case I'm mermaid_clarity. I think this is currently, I'm sorry, I'm juggling some like what's in progress and what's like actually happening now. I think this is my only show right now, on and off, every other Monday. If you follow me around on Twitter, I usually tell people where I'll be and when. Yeah. And I spend a lot of time yelling about racism in tabletops, because, do what you love.
Claire.
Yeah, I am Claire. I have been Claire. I will continue to be Claire. I am at CB Dubs everywhere. And you can see me for our last session of Twin Towers. City of Towers. Sorry, I cannot remember the name of the City of Towers. This Sunday at 4 p.m. with Jason, or It's Probably Okay. And it's a great campaign. It's been a lot of fun. And you can also find me and Clara at Merry Wives everywhere. Yeah, and you should join our Patreon, because we can't perform and make money, so we would like that kind of support instead.
Awesome. Joe, wrap us up.
Hey y'all, this was the best Zoom meeting I ever crashed. What a meeting to randomly get into. I am here, I guess every Monday for a while. I'm here Mondays for this year, St. Elco's Fire. I'm sure none of that is foreshadowing. I'm sure we're fine. Every other Monday starting tonight. And on the off Mondays, you can find me also here on Monday for Great American Witch with Chris Gray. And it's been such an awesome time. Thank you all for letting me come in and be part of the Happy Jacks crew. It's been an amazing time. I'm so looking forward to opening up this story with this table. It's been so fun already, this session 0. It feels like I'm in the 80s, and yeah, let's do this every other week. This is fun.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, I think we could.
For like 12 times or something like that.
Sure.
We could pull it together. All right, cool. Thank you for tuning in. I will bid you farewell for now, and we'll see you next 2 weeks from now. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.
Bye.